All right, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, dogs, and cats. It's Christmas Eve for most of us. If you're a football fan, it's time for the first round of the NFL draft. On the first exciting days of the NFL season, we're discussing with amongst ourselves here in the panel, and then almost everybody else. This is a wide open first round of the NFL draft as we've seen in a long time. No one knows who's going first. The dominoes are going all different directions, which should make tonight pretty fun and interesting. We might have a couple guys popping in and out as we go along from our N95 Sports Network / Surge Sports team and family. But this evening, joining us would be to my right, one of the Sports with Mono and Mono brothers, Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hi, Bob.
Right below me is his brother. I'm not going to say who's older or not. That's up to them to decide and tell everybody. There's Jim.
Hi, guys.
My long time buddy, pal, DJ partner, Jersey Frank.
What's up?
But right now, I think Jim has you beat as far as jerseys on display.
Well, I only have one. I mean, you want me to get them all?
Yeah. Be there all night.
Oh, no, guys, finish the salad first, Frank.
Yeah, Frank's having salad. He's the king of salads.
Every time I don't see any jerseys behind Jim.
He meant you, Steve. He meant you.
Mine are actually hidden. I got Jordan behind me and Carmelo Anthony, who they say might be a Brooklyn Net next year, by the way.
Oh, gee. That'll push them over the top.
Yeah. All right. All I've been hearing since Sunday night is everybody sending me these memes about the Nets getting swept. But, then I think to myself, when everybody's doing it, they're all Knicks fans. And I'm like, so where's that meme that says you guys didn't make it? Where's that meme at? Knicks fans are a funny bunch of guys. But anyway, it's NFL draft night. We'll start with Steve. Steve, what are some of your predictions for, again, what could be the craziest draft for which has been the craziest offseason in NFL history? What are your thoughts, Steve?
Well, my immediate first thought is I don't really remember off the top of my head, and the three of us and four of us are known for just reeling off sports facts. I can't remember the last time that there was not a consensus overall number one, where the contract was probably already signed, like an Andrew Luck, a John Elway type of thing.
Joe Burrow.
Right. So this is very unique, and as the last 24 hours, all signs are indicating Travon Walker is probably going to be that number one. But this is going to be a good draft by where the Jets had 4 with Deebo Samuel trade rumors. And I think we always forget the trades that happen like that, right? So when you see all these mock drafts and stuff, right, we all do it. But in real time, look for a lot of action going on with trades, I think. So
I think a lot of guys are going to be jockeying possibly for next year.
True.
Yep.
True.
So they're going to want to trade picks away.
Because the quarterbacks next year are much better than the quarterbacks this year.
Exactly. The first two especially. We have 2 comments already, both for the same guy. We got Get Me Some Sauce.
Okay.
And we got Sauce Gardner to the Jets at number 4.
Hey, Rob, let me just give my 2 cents here. And Steve actually kind of stole my thunder, because when we look at a mock draft, we have, 32 teams and who they're going to pick. And we know that it's never going to pan out the same way, because especially like you mentioned, that this offseason has been unbelievable. There's still some trades that are going to be made, and it's going to throw off everybody's pick. But I think from the number one perspective, and Steve and I have talked about it on the show, 3 weeks ago it was Aiden Hutchinson, was a foregone conclusion. Now it's Travon Walker and so forth. So we never know how it's going to pan out. But like I said, we're New York fans, so we're Jets got 2 picks in the first round. Giants have 2 picks, and we're going to see how it goes. But I think the Jets are going to go wide receiver, and I think the Giants are going to go offensive lineman with their first pick, but we're going to see how it pans out. Frank, what do you think?
I don't think that's bad, but I don't know if the Jets should go for a wide receiver.
They're
I know
not.
they need one.
They're
You need to
not.
pick a quarterback. That's first and foremost. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen plenty of teams over the years with not the best receivers, and you know what? I hate to bring them up. A lot of those Tom Brady teams, not the best receivers or even running backs in the world, but man, did they have a hell of a front line protecting him. Made sure he'd get the times he needs to get those passes off and do whatever he's got to do.
And there's there's our guy Brad Michaels, who's the host of Dolphins Radio, the Dolphins Radio Show here on 95 Sports Network. He has Evan Neal at 5. I mean,
I'm
possible.
going to jump right in. Hey, Brad, I'm with you 100%. I think the Giants are going Evan Neal at 5. At 4, listen, the Jets are going to take, in my opinion, an offensive lineman, right? Sauce Gardner is there, which they could take, but I think this Deebo Samuel thing's going to happen with the Jets. I do. So I think the Jets are going to give up 10 and get Deebo. I do.
So
All right, I don't see that happening, but when we look at the first 2 picks, I think we know Jacksonville, they're going one of 2 ways, right? Walker or Hutchinson. But the second pick in the draft is Detroit, and I know it's kind of a quote-unquote quarterback light draft, but I think they need to go quarterback, and I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but, they could steal Sauce Gardner from the Jets at 4, but I got to think, if you want to rebuild this franchise in Detroit, you have to take a quarterback.
Here's one thing, Jim. The coach has went on to say that he feels you don't need a stud quarterback to succeed. About a month ago.
Yeah, but this is a coach that's 1-15 in his career as a head coach. So
There's
doesn't he also want to punch people to kneecaps or something like that?
Yes, he does.
right, he's the guy who breaks the kneecaps. Yeah.
There you go, Frankie. You have a fan out there. I don't know. He's done like 2 shows.
I have no idea who that is.
So, Frank, what do you think at 4 for the Jets?
I think they'd be silly not to get an offensive lineman.
Yeah, a Konowo
Period.
or Neal.
Whether it's
But
Neal or
I think the Giants get Neal at 5. And back to Jim's point about Detroit at 2, I find this fascinating. If Travon Walker is the number 1 pick, are they going to be sentimental and take Aiden Hutchinson, the Michigan boy, at 2? There's a small percentage, and in my mind, if I'm Detroit, I'm drafting Malik Willis at number 2. I'm drafting him at number 2. That's just me. Whether that happens, I'm not saying it's going to.
It could be Willis or Pickett, but they have to go quarterback.
But I think Malik Willis has proven that he is the number 1 quarterback in this draft.
Yep.
Be honest with you, I don't know much about him. I mean, I've watched some of his highlights. Watched some. I've never watched him play in a game.
This I can say. He's not Jamarcus Russell.
Not too many people are.
No.
Except
But
Ryan
listen,
Leaf.
I think the Giants,
except maybe Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
and listen, the Giants are going offensive linemen. Whether it's Evan Neal or not, it could be Acuna or this guy Charles Cross. They like both of them.
It's going to be one of the 3.
They need to do this. We're past the Gettleman era. That has to stop. That's the need, not best player available. You better get an offensive lineman.
I'm going to say for both the Jets and the Giants. Let's look at where they're at. Giants, especially with quarterback, seeing if Daniel Jones got what it takes. We got to protect the guy.
Exactly.
You got a guy you got Zach Wilson for the Jets. Again, he showed signs of being effective, but again, let's protect him. Let's get a max protect. We all know that it's very easy in a 2nd or 3rd round to pull a receiver out of somewhere that all of a sudden blows up and nobody's ever heard of. Couldn't tell me what college he played at. Didn't even know the guy played football.
Yeah.
So I think that's would be smart for both teams. Now,
And-
if you were like the Green Bay Packers, who have a good offensive line, got some decent running backs, got a not a bad defense, you got no receivers, then you got to go receiver first pick. But you're not in that category.
Right.
You're in the category of, I guess you want to call it rebuilding or trying to. I don't know. For the Giants, it seems a little more desperate to me
Oh,
because they've had Jones there
it's
for a
DEFCON
while.
1 for the Giants.
I know they've
They
had a
have
couple
to
offensive
draft it.
coordinators, injuries, this and that, but let's put those.
And Frank, just for the record, and I've gone on record, I think Daniel Jones. Steve's not a seller of a buyer of Daniel Jones, but I am, and they got to put somebody around him, and that's why they're going offensive linemen. Whether it's Acuna or Evan Neal, I'll take either one, to be quite honest.
I'm
Well,
still up in the air with Daniel Jones. I don't know
Speaking
what
of Daniel Jones, he's in the news today. Why? Because the Giants declined the 5th-year option.
Yeah,
Which
but
everybody
that was
knew
a
they were
business
going to do.
decision.
Because it makes sense to do that.
Right, but
Here's
it was
the
just
catch.
a
Here's the
business
catch.
decision. That's
Here's
all.
the catch. Everybody knows this is Daniel Jones's audition year, right? If he passes the sniff test, has a good year, the Giants can tag him next year for $30 million. And that's
Right.
one more year of evaluation. But the Giants are not giving this guy until a full evaluation, 7 years, $300 million, whatever the hell the market is.
I wouldn't.
It's not happening.
I wouldn't. That'd be
I
a bad
wouldn't
business
either.
move.
I wouldn't either.
Hey, there's worse quarterbacks in the NFL than Daniel Jones.
This is the New York Giants in the New York market here. We're talking.
All right. So the Vegas crowd's getting all ready to go.
You think they're drinking out there out front of the draft?
So, guy, what do you think of Brad's assessment that there's a better quarterback class next year? That nobody in this year's class is a day one starter.
No,
Well,
Brad.
I was reading. I saw Brad's comment, and I said, you know what? We just keep focusing on Pickett and Willis as the only two quarterbacks, but I think Matt Corral and Sam Howell, these are guys too. Not that they're going to be first round picks, but I don't know what's going to be out there next year to pass on them this year.
Oh, you
Brad
got
is
Alabama?
Brad is 100% correct that next year's quarterback draft is you're gonna have Bryce Young leading the pack.
Bryce Young.
And then the other quarterback, there's two guys. There's Bryce Young and there's somebody else, right? I forget who. Oklahoma coach, I think, somewhere out there.
Well, listen, we didn't mention Desmond Ritter. He's up there too, and a lot of teams like him.
Absolutely. I mean, he'll be a second-round pick, most likely, Desmond Ritter. And again, you can hit the lottery with these guys. That's the point. Desmond Ritter just led Cincinnati as the quarterback, right? To historic proportions. Correct?
You and I have talked about this on our show, Steve. 1,000 times. He's a legitimate player, and he could be somebody that throws off the entire draft if somebody likes him that much.
Right.
I got a question. So I'm a little high on Kenny Pickett. I really like him. They say he's not mobile. Is that true?
No, I disagree with that 100%.
Well, I disagree too, because I believe college football changed the rule because he did that fake slide thing. I'm like,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The only knock from a scouting perspective on Kenny Pickett is he has small hands, right?
Yeah.
Like Austin Powers said, carny folks, small hands.
Smells like cabbage.
But listen, he's a Jersey guy, and that's.
So I got a Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation with Kenny Pickett. Now, I don't know Kenny Pickett, but my boss, Jerry Vitale, with my day job, is dear friends with Kenny Pickett's father.
Huh.
Right? And his nephew, so my colleague at work is Frank Leone, right? He was 32, one of us, right? Jet fan, blah, blah, blah. And Frank's brother, Tommy, who just graduated Rutgers, is dear friends with Kenny Pickett. So Tommy is at the Kenny Pickett draft party in New Jersey right now.
Nice.
So we're rooting for Kenny Pickett.
No doubt. Definitely.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What town is that in?
What's that?
What town is the party in?
Yeah. Well, let's all get in our cars and go.
I'm saying, where's he from? I'm saying, where's he from?
I don't know what town Kenny
Hold on.
Pickett is
He's
from.
he's from like
Central
South
Jersey, Edison area, I think.
No, I think
He's
No.
he's from South Jersey somewhere. I think.
Okay.
hold on. I'll tell you exact. I remember I looked it up not too long ago. I'm like, I never even heard of the town.
But the thing about Kenny Pickett is there's like 5 teams that he could land on. The Skins, the Saints, right?
Yeah,
He is from Oakhurst.
Carolina.
Oakhurst. Yeah, he's down the shore, Monmouth County.
No, actually, Ocean County.
Okay,
Ocean.
so Frank and Tommy live in Tom's River, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Frank's going to be buying me breakfast tomorrow morning because I mentioned his name on the show.
So why don't we put this out there? Let's talk about, who's going to be the first pick? Is it going to be Walker? Is it going to be Hutchinson? Frank, what do you think?
I mean, I still don't understand why it wouldn't be Hutchinson. I mean, nothing against Walker. I know his team won a national championship, but they said Aiden Hutchinson, he was the every down player. Never took a playoff, consistent. Actually, I believe he owns a Michigan record now for sacks.
He does.
The guy was like a motor. I watched
But
him. I didn't even realize who his father was. I didn't know that was his dad.
That's his dad.
Who?
Steve Hutchinson, the old offensive lineman.
Michigan legend, offensive lineman.
You know what? But, Steve and I, we watch Michigan play all year, and we watch Georgia play all year. And I got to say, when they were talking about Hutchinson being the consensus number one, I go, I didn't see that week after week after week. But when we watched Georgia, Trayvon Walker was in with Nakobe Dean on every single tackle, and he made more of an impression on me than Hutchinson. And listen, his father, Steve Hutchinson, was a great player, great player. But I just didn't see him as the consensus number one.
I will say this, Michigan, Ohio State this year, right? Jim and I have always been on the Ohio State bandwagon that Ryan Day is going to kick the shit out of Jim Harbaugh, which he has, and Urban Meyer prior to him, right? So we rode the Ohio State bandwagon, right? But Aiden Hutchinson in that Ohio State-Michigan game is why he's considered the number one pick. Dominated the game. Just dominated the game.
So Frank,
Mike Garvey says the Jets will trade their picks within 3 years. You know what? The Jets seem to do everything wrong, but the Giants have been doing everything wrong, and hopefully this year will be different. That's all.
What?
And I've made this comment.
Oh my God, they got Ice Cube. Ice Cube's coming up. Look at this.
He was there in the front row.
Yeah, he's Ice Cube. Really?
The Cube?
Yeah.
There's Mark. I have a pretty funny Marcus Allen story in Vegas, but that's for another time. Ice Cube's short, huh?
No, he's not that short. I mean, he's like 5'8", 5'9". He's regular height.
Oh, the Cube?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Jim's a big
I
Cube
wouldn't have picked him out of a lineup.
Jim's a big Cube guy. I know that.
Not really.
But you know what? Brad just made another astute comment, right? Tom Brady, 5th round, pick 199, right? This is all speculation, right? It's just all speculation. That the best of
his draft picture is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It looks like he's gonna fall over when he's running.
Well, no, the one where he's shirtless is like no muscle definition whatsoever.
What? Who? Mac Jones?
No, Tom Brady.
Oh, Brady.
Oh yeah, but even when you saw Mac Jones, what they call him? He had a nickname or something.
There was a picture of Mac Jones with his shirt off, which was not flattering.
Smoking a cigar after the national championship game. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, Ice Cube is 5'8".
That makes sense because it is the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Okay, all right, I get it
Oh,
now.
he's a Raiders fan. Yeah.
I'm late to the party.
Oh well,
He is a Raiders
listen,
fan.
if you're in show business, now is the right time to be a Las Vegas fan, no matter who's playing there.
Wow.
It gets you on TV.
You got
He was a
baseball coming
Raiders
next.
fan a long time ago.
On the flip side, Brad, to your comment about Tom Brady being the greatest ever and the 199th pick, the flip side is Henry Ruggs right now is sitting in a jail cell 2 years after being drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, where the draft is being held, right? And he was a pretty high draft pick,
Yeah.
right? So there's two sides to the coin here of caveat emptor, buyer beware, right? But you cannot predict a Henry Ruggs driving a car 190 miles an hour and killing an innocent woman.
Yeah.
Drunk as a skunk.
Right.
And
Just like you can't compare. Ryan Leaf was the number, a bust, right? To Tony Mandaritz. That's exactly right.
And
We're
again,
speculating,
look at Tom Brady's situation. Look how he actually got the role. He didn't beat out anybody. Somebody got hurt. So as fate would have it, he came in, and I believe his first game he was almost horrible.
Mo Lewis killed
Right, Mo
Drew
Lewis,
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. What would he
Right.
blow up his spleen or something?
He
They
did.
crushed him on the sideline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crushed him.
Let me tell you from experience, living in Las Vegas, it's even worse than New York City, where on a drop of a dime, any time of day or night, there's something going on. You're that close to LA, and everybody flies there anyway to gamble. So, a party could pop up or an event like that. So, yeah, I'm not defending Henry Ruggs whatsoever, but Vegas is not. It's a tough place to live if you have, demons, or if you have.
Yeah, but we could go down this line with a million players.
But
Oh,
that's
right.
the point.
Vegas.
Jeremy Tunzel. They caught him doing bong hits on draft
Jeremy
night.
Tunzel.
But that's the point. There's 32 teams, right? It used to be what? 15 rounds, 12 rounds, back in the day or whatever. the hell
We'll
it
get back to
was.
Scott in a second. But
Now
here's-
there's 7, right? So 7 times 32 is hundreds of players being drafted. You could do all the background checks you want. But
Sure.
Again, just
it's a roll of the dice.
to Brad's comment, yeah, even though he's a football player, doesn't mean he can deal with other things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Again, I don't know this. I wasn't there. I don't know how I would feel if that happened to me. I would hope I react a little different, maybe try to save the person.
And again, the Brad's comment about Henry Ruggs, I was so disappointed as well of the after fact of this tragedy
Yeah.
and his behavior towards him.
When you have the world at your feet and you make those kind of judgments that are just completely out of character or just wrong, it impacts everything. And
Right.
as
To
a
Brad's
32
point,
draft picks
Henry
tonight,
Ruggs was all about me.
Yeah.
Well, like if you read what he's saying, this woman literally burned to death, which is the most horrific thing you could possibly imagine.
and
Yeah.
her dog. And her dog.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, Brad is in Vegas. So
Oh,
Brad,
good.
I noticed the crowds there. It must be pretty sick right now in Vegas.
I bet.
So we got to get close to the pick now, no?
I don't know what they're waiting for, right? I mean,
They got 5 minutes on the clock left.
Okay.
I'm going Walker here. I'm going Walker.
Well, they're showing. Well, they were showing both. They were showing Walker and they were showing Hutchinson in highlights
you know
from championship games and national championship games.
It sounds like it's between.
Trayvon Walker sounds like that. There's been there's been a bunch of those guys. Like, wasn't that guy Mike Maluma? Like those workout hounds in the draft who
Mike
all
Maluma.
the weight. And then-
Mamula.
And Mike
out of
Maluma.
Boston College.
A couple
And
of those guys.
the Eagles drafted him and took a
Big
flyer
dude.
first round.
He has a
Big
great, pre-draft combine and workouts. He's strong. He's doing, 400 pounds 20 times. Does nothing in the NFL.
Well, look at too. Who's who's kind of a disappointment? Jadeveon Clowney. How many teams has he been with?
You know what? He's a disappointment on certain aspects, but you know what? Lately, he's not getting the sacks everybody expected of him, but he is playing pretty solidly on the ends for the teams he's playing.
Yeah, I think the last few years he's actually played much better than he did when he first came into the league because he was the consensus number one, Frank. And you're right, high expectations, but for a couple of years, nobody heard of him.
For a guy who refused to play a bunch of college games, you'd think he'd come in and he would be left out.
I'm going to split the baby on this. I don't think Jadeveon Clowney is the biggest bust, but I kind of lean more towards Frank that the expectation level of Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm not saying he's a bust. He's not we're not talking
the expectation level of him.
We're just talking about
nowhere near has even
right.
approached.
What I'm saying is I expect a little more steady. What's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. Consistent play being a factor. Again, why a lot of these teams bouncing him around? What's he doing? 4 teams, 5 teams? I don't even know. I can't keep. Is it attitude? Is it his play? Is it a combination of both?
Yeah.
Is it he doesn't care? He's just trying to I have no idea.
You're right.
Pick is
I
in.
have no idea.
The pick is in.
Let's see.
As Brad says, yeah, you're right. When you live in Vegas, kind of avoid the strip most of the time anyway, especially this weekend.
So I'm going to throw a name out there because it's Hutchinson and Travon Walker. The biggest bust for me is Vernon Goldston at that position by the Jets.
Very true.
You talk about zero production.
Guys, we should have been there this year. We should be in Vegas right now.
We should be.
Next year.
Was it next year Detroit or something? Was it a cold?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no. I think
Detroit.
it's in Detroit in 2 years. Good luck with that.
There.
Where is it in 2024?
You drive to Detroit.
You can
What's the
keep
pick?
Detroit. Let's see what we got.
Well, someone who's anonymous agrees we should be there too. So I don't know who that. I'm gathering it's one of our broadcasters.
Here we go.
He is so unlikable, Goodell. He just screams $57 million a year arrogance.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. There you go.
Wow. That's gonna change some things.
All right. I'm 1 for 1. It can only go downhill from here.
That was interesting.
Now
You got the most important one right, Jim.
Right. And exactly what's going to happen now is, does that automatically push a Hutchinson to number 2? No. Right. So now everybody's draft board just got blown up kind of thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't think so. I think there's been 3 days of Travon Walker leapfrogging Hutchinson. So I don't find this to be shocking at all, to be honest with you. So my question is Hutchinson going to be the sentimental pick of the Lions?
Has to be.
Because he
has to be. Michigan guy staying home in Detroit and Michigan.
But is that really what it's going to come down to? Because he played at Michigan. I don't even know if he's from Michigan.
This is the Detroit Lions we're talking about.
Granted,
Matt Millen is not making the pick, but
I'm still going my second pick that Detroit has got to take a quarterback, and doesn't matter to me which one it is, but if they don't do it, they're setting their franchise back years.
Aiden Hutchinson is from Plymouth, Michigan. He went to Divine Child in Dearborn, Michigan.
Okay.
That's where the Pilgrims landed, right?
Yes.
Right.
The other
Can he play quarterback?
I don't think so.
But you know what? To be kind of pragmatic about this is the Detroit Lions again we're talking about. You know how many needs they have? So if they draft Aiden Hutchinson, it's not really a bad thing, right? You know what I mean?
No.
And if the quarterbacks next year, because they got Goff, they're going to pay Goff $1 million, ridiculous money for at least this year.
You know
But
what? I
drafted
don't. I
a
don't think that's a
solid.
bad idea. Let
they- if
let
they-
Goff
if they-
just play.
If they land a Bryce Young next year, right, and they get Hutchinson this year, just throwing that out there as a a
That's not
scenario.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
We-
but
we-
He's in.
I think if they don't, and against my all my principles that they need a quarterback, I think if they don't go that route, they're going to take Sauce Gardner, and that's going to take him off the board for the Jets.
That's not a bad pick at all. You're talking about the top corner in the league or in the draft.
Is a cornerback though an impact player at the
Yes,
second
because
level?
it's a passing league. Yes, absolutely.
No.
Yeah,
Really? In a quarterback passing heavy league, cornerbacks are very
absolutely.
important.
Yeah. How many?
Especially a guy. I mean, I don't know much
We're
about
talking about a guy who didn't give up one touchdown in
Okay.
3 years in college.
That's
I
pretty
know.
effective.
I'm not dismissing his talent. I'm saying if they don't go quarterback, they may go him. But I just don't think at the number 2 pick that's.
Here we go.
I think
Here it said, go.
there's enough defensive backs out there, Stingley or something like that, that he's not a number 2 pick. Sorry.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
Fine.
Hometown boy, I guess. I mean, is that
I don't
really
think
what it
that's
comes
a bad
down to?
Now, I'm not going to say this is happening, but I did hear, just some chatter this afternoon that Houston may be entertaining moving back from 3. I'm not saying it's happening. I just heard chatter. I think Houston wants Derek Stingley Jr., and I think they're confident if they do move back,
They could
whatever,
get him.
3 picks or 4, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
that they could still get him. So if somebody wants the quarterback right now, I think this is a good opportunity to go up and get him.
6'3", huh? Texans, right?
You know what? Because Houston right now, I mean, nobody even, I was doing my pre-draft stuff, and I go, I don't even know. Houston needs everything. The whole program is a mess. So Steve, you know what? I could see them even trading down, saying let's stockpile some picks here, and we'll get somebody in the first round later on. You're probably right.
And who's the head coach now? Lovie Smith.
Smith.
What is Lovie Smith known for? Defense. And I still think it's a complete joke that Lovie Smith is the Houston Texans head coach. I really do.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
that wasn't. I don't think that was the guy to pull them out of the doldrums where they are, because right now it's an absolute mess. It's a mess.
Yes, they are, Brad. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are, Brad. Houston is a dumpster fire. There is no
Well,
question.
Yep.
When you
So,
have
Frank-
an owner of a team listening to a non-football guy about how he should run his football team, that's what happens.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So, Frank, since you're the only guy in the earth who has more hats than I do,
Yeah.
your job is to rate the draft hats. By the way,
I didn't see him.
he's wearing it now.
I'll wait till another one comes up. I think I saw them this year. They look horrible.
Kind of like it's kind of a mixture of color and the blackout in the front. It's kind of weird.
And listen, Brad made another comment. Like Jim and I covered this on Sports with Mano a Mano extensively. And Brad, I can't wait to hopefully meet you soon, because I'm not just agreeing with you for the sake of agreeing. But Brian Flores filed that lawsuit. So we all know that all 32 owners are like, nobody's hiring Brian Flores, right? Nobody. But Brian Flores should have been the head coach of the Houston Texans.
Yes.
He should have been.
He should have at least got one of the open spots. I agree with you. on
Right,
that.
but the old boys network that we don't, when they all get together, nobody's hiring Flores as the head coach.
That's a shame though, because
It
I think he's a really good coach. He comes from a lineage with Belichick,
Absolutely.
and again, I regardless of what anyone else thinks or says, I really think those things happen to him. I
Yeah.
don't believe that it's false.
And here's another Kevin Bacon 6 degrees thing. Augie Hoffman, the former head coach of St. Joseph Regional, Montvale, one of the powerhouses, high schools in the nation. Jim and I are graduates of, football alums. We know Augie. We love Augie. Augie played at BC, and who was his roommate?
Brian Flores.
Really?
Yep.
Ryan Flores went to BC.
Yep.
Yeah. And Augie's on the staff at Rutgers now, and another friend of the show, Nunzio Campanelli, the
I know
former
Nunzio
Bergen Catholic head coach, is at Rutgers, and Nuns lives in Oakland, where I live, and Nuns is one of the just one of the
He
greatest
coaches where? Nunzio's where?
people and football guys I've ever met.
He used to be, wasn't he? Was at Bergen Catholic,
He
right?
was at Bergen
Right.
for a lot of years.
His brother Vito now is the head coach at Bergen.
Then the other brothers in Seton Hall Prep, right?
His brother Nick, the youngest, is the head coach at DePaul.
Paul.
And
Okay.
Anthony Campanelli has been an NFL head coach, or not a head coach, but all over the place. I think Anthony is with the Dolphins now, but he's been at every stop along the way.
But the legacy of the Campanellis, I think even the father was a head coach when Steve and I played.
Yes.
Back in the
Mike
day.
Campanelli is the
Fairlawn, right?
patriarch of the family.
If I'm Fairlawn.
They're Fairlawn guys.
Yeah.
JJ's Pub is where they hang out.
AJ's sub.
Little corner joint, right?
Tiny.
Pick is in.
Here we go.
Again, Houston can go anywhere here. They got, they need everything except.
Kyle Hamilton's my guess.
Oh, I want him so bad for the Giants.
Defensive back Sauce Gardner here.
Good
Could
man.
be. They got to think of all the, like you said, receivers they got to defend in the AFC.
Derek Stingley is my pick, actually.
Ahead of Sauce?
Yeah.
Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
Derek Stingley.
Stingley Jr. Yeah.
Look at Steve.
Excuse me for a minute, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
No, hey Rob, they had a lot of teams when we were looking at Gardner and Stingley. A lot of teams had Stingley, one notch above kind of thing. So Steve, good pick, but not a big shocking surprise.
Well, the only
This
thing
may
about
open it up
Stingley
for the
was he-
Jets at number 4. If they're really hot to trot on this guy Gardner, then he's there for them to take.
Not one lineman yet, too.
Well, the only thing about Stingley was he did have an injury at LSU, but apparently he's healthy. And again, it's all subjective here. It's all
Yep.
subjective. The Jets at 4.
Jets at 4.
I'm going lineman 150% here. And if I was the Jets, I am taking Econowu. I think Econowu, to me, is the best lineman in this draft.
I'm actually hoping that the Jets don't take him because I would be just as delighted with him or Evan Neal for 5 for the Giants.
Yeah. I'm
But
going
you know what?
Econowu here and Evan Neal with the Giants next.
Well, I guess the question is regarding the Jets is apparently they're a little soft on this guy Mekhi Becton. Like, they got a hole to fill. They know that he's not a player for the long term.
That's exactly why they're going to go.
Is
They
Stingley
need
a legacy?
insurance here.
Is he a
Mikael
legacy?
Becton is a slob.
Yeah.
He was 400 pounds not even 2 months ago. Okay. And then they have the OTAs voluntary. My wife is having a baby. We all get that. We're fathers, right? But she wasn't in labor. He was like, what do I get? 4 days off paternity? Please.
Hey, Rob, were you
All right.
asking? Rob, were you asking if Stingley was related to Darryl Stingley?
He is.
He is.
Legacy, right?
Grandson.
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 Grandson. Really? Wow.
Which was one of, like I said, that moment in time in NFL history was one of the most devastating things, and it put it into perspective of you want to play football. Here's something that could happen, and it was shocking. And he lived a great life, was a great role model, and but yes, Rob, he is in fact his grandfather.
Right.
I
According to
got to tell you, Jim and I are old enough, and I can't remember if Jim and I were watching the game at the same time. but I remember watching that game live. The Raiders, Patriots, right?
Yep.
The Jack Tatum hit on Darryl Stingley, right? We've all played football, right? Et cetera, et cetera. You've seen it, these vicious hits, especially back then, right? When it was all, the wild, wild west. But Darryl Stingley was down. And for that first 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, you're like, all right, he's going to get up. Like, 98% of them do. The longer he stayed down there, you could just sense the seriousness of what was going on.
That's why that's why the name sounds familiar. He was one of those original guys who were.
And then watching him, I don't know, 20 minutes later, finally getting.
That's the famous hit Jack Tatum did. That's what,
and it wasn't, you know what? It wasn't even, back then, I can't even say it was a dirty hit. It was just, that's how they played the game back then. And now the rules have changed to kind of minimize the Darryl Stingley effect or the results of it. But, it really was, it was shocking. It was stunning. And, it's never gone away from the memory of NFL fans going way, way back. No
Absolutely. And just to finish that, again, we're kind of spoiled with social media and our ability to know, what's going on in 2 seconds, right? But back then, Darryl Stingley got taken to the hospital in Oakland. It was a road game. I remember that. And you didn't hear until like Wednesday of the week. Darryl Stingley's is paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, wow. And it was Jack Tatum that hit him. And Jack Tatum's reputation, of course, is they call me Assassin, which is the name of his book.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the, for our audience, Derek Stingley Jr. is the grandson of Darryl Stingley, who was a great
I think Jack Tatum was from Passaic.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Tatum was from Passaic, correct.
Yeah.
So, guys, according to
He played at Ohio State. He was on the national championship team with Woody Hayes, 68, 69-ish.
Wow.
So, according to your guy Mike, who did a little experiment during our show, it took Frank 20 minutes to go from salad to pooper.
I go to the bathroom.
He assumes that.
No.
Hey, Frank, we have a very astute audience here. You got to be careful.
Well, they're not that astute. No, I went upstairs. I had to go upstairs and see how my wife's doing. She had some stuff to do.
I'll tell you, though, the city of Passaic, you have Jack Tatum, of course, Craig Hayward.
I played against Craig Hayward.
For a little city,
I played against Craig Hayward. Craig Hayward was a man. I mean, a freaking man.
He was a bulldozer
in high school.
Yeah, at 17 years old, he was a big boy.
15, 16, 17.
And listen, when we talk about football players, we talked about Stingley, Hayward, his son is a stud player in the NFL. So NFL players or baseball players are no different than horses. It's in the genes. It really, really is.
All right, so we know who the anonymous Facebook guy is.
Oh.
Anthony, our buddy Anthony can't spell graduated, but that's okay. He fixed it. Very good.
So, Mr. Franchino, who's your pick here? Who do you want? You're a Jets guy.
Anthony's father is a graduate of Passaic High School, and our dear friend Anthony, where Sports with Mono and Mono's first live podcast visually was broadcasted from his house. Anthony, who do you want for the Jets?
We'll have to do playoff baseball this fall from the backyard.
Here it comes.
All right, who's the pick, guys?
Conawoo.
Sauce.
Evan Neal.
Conawoo.
Sauce. They took the sauce.
They got this.
No line for the Giants.
Way to go, Frank.
I still don't agree with it.
No,
I
think this guy
he's a good player, but that's not what they need.
Well, he's the heir apparent to Revis Island, I guess, right?
Well, let's not give it to him just yet.
Well, the expectation level is going to be Revis Island for him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Jim, that's a good point.
Yep.
Oh, I agree with you. It just, it's kind of hard to do that. I mean, listen, if you're a Jets fan, you have to put it into perspective.
You don't
You're
like
right.
it. He don't like it, Franchina.
He didn't like it.
You don't like
I
it.
agree with him. I don't like the pick. I think that was more of a flashy pick.
It's a need. Again, what I said about the Lions, they got a lot of holes. We all know the New York Jets have a lot of holes.
But I thought, listen, they're putting their money on Zach Wilson, and if this offensive line, what happened to Daniel Jones is going to happen to Zach Wilson if they don't put bodies in front of him.
You know what? The Jets signed Laken Tomlinson in the offseason, who was all pro actually with the Niners.
See right there. We need to protect.
You
our
got
QB.
Tucker. They're moving Tucker to right guard. You got Tomlinson at left guard, right? I'm sure Joe Douglas is confident he's going to find a good lineman in the second, third, fourth rounds.
I tell you, if you're any team that needs a lineman right now, all right, so Giants are taking the best one right now, right? Because they have the pick of the 3. So if you're really serious about a lineman, now you make a deal now because all 3 are available. Well, 2 will be available after this pick.
Well, I'm gonna listen. I feel at least very confident this time around that the Giants know they need to go offensive line. I thought Evan Neal might be the easy pick, but I think this kid at Conway is that good that they could go that route and push Neal down to a couple picks later.
I agree. I'm going to say I'm steadfast that I think the Jets should have taken an offensive lineman here. However, I thought they'd take Econowu. Now the Giants have their pick of Neal Econowu. They're talking to the scouts for the next 10 minutes and back and forth. And listen, this is Joe Shane's first pick as the Giants general manager. He can't F this up.
And there's 3 offensive linemen in play. It's Econowu, it's Neal, and it's this guy Charles Cross, he's a big stud too.
I think this Econowu is the best.
I think only one of the 3 guys, though, I'm trying to remember which one, have played right guard, though. And that's the pick.
Conway played guard.
Conway, right? He's the only one who actually has played right guard because we already have a left guard. I'm sorry, right tackle. We already have a left tackle.
But I think that's probably the tiebreaker is that he's versatile enough to play guard and tackle.
Right.
And this guy has impressed the scouts, trust me. So when I started the show with Evan Neal as the pick, I was basing that on Econowu being picked by the Jets. But if Econowu's there, I got to go with him.
I'll tell you, it's boring as F. I don't mind swearing on my own damn network, but it's boring as F. But if the Giants go two OTs in the first 2 picks, I can't be mad at them.
No, if they're going offensive lineman here and their second pick is going to be an edge rusher or a linebacker, and I'm hoping it's this guy Nakobe Dean from Georgia because I think he is all world. What he showed us, Steve, in the Sugar Bowl was amazing. Amazing player.
Then again, the other linebacker is supposed to be better, though, right?
I don't know.
Utah.
Offensive lineman here.
Come on,
No doubt.
Pittsburgh. Come on, Pittsburgh. Pull the trigger. Malik Willis, baby.
They got to make a trade to get him,
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Malik Willis.
Well, I mean, we need somebody. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sold on Mitchell Trubisky either.
Yeah. But Malik Willis, Frank started his career at Auburn. He's not just a Liberty guy. So
No, I understand that, but again, playing the competition he played, they said he's very green, very raw. I understand he's fast. I understand he's got a strong arm, but they said his accuracy isn't the best, and he's not the. They said he wasn't that great on long routes, like go routes.
I would see him go to Seattle myself. He's the perfect replacement for what's his name?
Yeah, Russell Wilson. I agree. If he's sitting there, I think Seattle might be the logical choice for Malik Willis. But Mike Tomlin loves Malik Willis, so if he drops, I think Pittsburgh is a pretty logical landing spot.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to move up to get him. I mean, they're gonna have to move.
And you and I made the point on our show that When was the last time Pittsburgh ever moved up in the draft?
When
And
they got
talking to
Palomalu.
Frank, the Pittsburgh fan,
When they got Palomalu.
which has
That
been
was the
what,
last-
15
Long-
years,
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago.
right?
Probably 20. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Now, Frank, don't say it. I want to watch this myself. Don't say the pick. I want to see this one. Who's that? Who's that guy?
Oh,
All right. Who is that guy?
Roger Goodell lost some weight.
he's a Make-A-Wish kid.
Our guy Shaheen Holloway is making a pick tomorrow
Oh, he is?
for the Jets. Yeah, I guess he's a Jets fan.
No, he's
Show
a
off.
Giants fan.
No, but he's making a Jets pick though. No, Shaheen Holloway. I'm saying the Seton Hall coach. Look at that sun. Look at that. Well, is it hot yet? No, it's not hot yet in Vegas. This is like perfect weather right now.
I am so nervous right now. Oh, my God.
Oh, he's making the pick, the kid?
Oh my God, no.
Who'd they get?
No. Oh no.
You find out, Rob. You didn't want me to say anything.
Thibodeau. I'm stunned. As a Giant fan, this is Dave Gettleman making the pick again, and
Flabbergasted.
I am blown away. Blown away.
All right, my first reaction to this is
I'm blown away.
Wink Martindale is the new defensive coordinator
I don't
we
care.
got from Baltimore.
I don't
And
care.
Wink, this is my opinion 3 seconds after what just happened.
So that
Thibodeau
means-
has been rated, right? But even like before the college football season,
Oh my
this guy
God.
can't miss no more. Blah blah blah. Thibodeau or Wink Martindale had to get into Shane's ear and Dayball's ear and Mara and go, I love this guy. I want him. I want him. That's the only logical explanation I can come up with.
Unacceptable.
That's it.
Unacceptable.
That's
Wow.
it.
Brad surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm
I'm
shocked.
surprised too, but the guy
shocked.
is rated
No one likes it.
as a stud.
I knew they liked him, but they got the 7th pick after the 5th pick, and they could have filled that hole just as easily without bypassing the immediate need. Not this best player available. They needed the offensive lineman.
But Tim,
and
hold
they
on a
missed
second
it.
though. Like we mentioned, they like all 3 linemen, and you're still guaranteed to get one at 7.
Right. Because Gardner's gone. For the Giants and Jets were both Gardner guys, right? So the Jets got Gardner. Giants now get the offensive line because 3 are still sitting there.
Wow.
Oh, why you
That's
do-
that was a risky chance to take, though, I think.
No, I don't think so. Now, again, like 3 minutes after the pick, because there's 3 stud linemen there at 7. Right? They're going to get one of the 3.
Wow.
guaranteed.
You could have done it in reverse, though. It was the wrong.
As Brad said, he is. He's rated as the best edge guy in the draft. So I am not stunned by this, not in the least at all.
Well,
And the reason is because Gardner's off the board.
Now is he a problem guy though? Is he gonna be a problem guy?
a lot
you know
of
what?
they have been questioning his character, so to speak. But
Yeah, you don't want a back-to-back Kadarius Toney Thibodeau type of locker room.
Exactly. That's how I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
you're right. You're right, Steve.
All right, first quarterback of the first round could go right here for Carolina.
What we got? Yeah, they could. You're right. It's going to be Willis or Kenny Pickett. Well,
I guess. I mean, we keep talking like those are the only 2 quarterbacks, but I think Matt Corral is a quarterback that could surprise and end up in the first round as well.
And again, Brad making a comment. I again, yes, you could get an offensive lineman
Yeah.
second, third, fourth round,
Yeah.
but not an Econo, not an Evan Neal.
They could drop back and they can actually trade the pick number 7 and get the I forgot his name off the top of my head, the stud center, Lindenbaum.
Tyler Lindenbaum, who I want on the Dallas Cowboys. However, I'm locked in that the Dallas Cowboys are drafting Zion Johnson out of Boston College.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you guys got. I mean, again, we hate the Cowboys, yada yada, vice versa.
Yeah, you can hate them all you want. Look at
Yeah, but you guys were initially laughed at when you signed the center. Remember, you drafted a center real early, about 5 6
Travis
years ago?
Frederick when we moved up together.
But then look what happened. He was the best center in football.
Oh, absolutely.
It changed your whole game.
Absolutely.
Oh, this Tyler Lindenbaum is a real deal center. I mean, if he's around and the Cowboys are still, that's not out of the realm at all.
Listen, I've always wanted Linderbaum, but the more I studied Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson can play center and he can play guard.
He's a Boston College kid.
I got to
right?
go versatile. Zion Johnson's out of Boston College, and he was first team All American. Linderbaum was first team All American center at Iowa.
Yep.
According to our viewer, CBS Sportsline gave their first A grade with the Giants pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a B. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I just don't think that was. If you had your eye on Neal and Okunwa, and if they're gone, I don't know. I think
They're not gone. Again, I'll harp on this until they pick at 7.
My guy, Mike.
Right, be quiet. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. And the more I think about it, maybe the Giants knew that the teams following their first pick was going to need an offensive lineman, regardless if they were available or not.
Right.
So possibly they could have called around, like we know they do.
Of course.
And I'm thinking whatever picks, like Carolina, maybe they were just, I know a lot of these teams, they will throw out like a bogus trade or what are your needs, stuff like that. And just to find out where they might be headed. So I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. That's why they took him, because if you think about it, the pick's not a bad pick. It's a great pick. Now, if you're looking at it from a need standpoint, it's not the best need that the Giants needed at the time. But if you take it as the pick is probably smart because there's those 3 offensive linemen left. And that's probably that's what their game was all the time. It's kind of like that. They're doing like a balance picks. They want an offensive guy that's going to dominate as well as a defensive guy who's going to dominate.
Yeah, but there's some edge rushers out there. And
no, I'm not saying they're not.
But we got, we obviously have a Denver Broncos fan, Kurt. And Kurt, listen, nobody's a bigger fan of Russell Wilson than Steve and I don't know how Frank feels, but I think it was a great move for them, but I still don't think that puts the Broncos over the top. They have other needs.
They're a pretty dangerous offensive team. I'm still questioning a little of their running game. I know they re-signed Melvin Gordon for another year. Who is the second-year guy now? I forgot his name.
Williams.
Yeah, but they're talking about bringing Philip Lindsay back as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
you cannot win in this league without an elite quarterback, and Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback.
He is.
Okay,
no doubt.
I'm all down with this Russell Wilson to the Broncos trade.
But
Kurt's one of our broadcast family. He's K&K Sports Show.
Do the Broncos have enough defense to hang with some of these other teams?
Listen,
I don't think they do.
You got to fill. You got to get a quarterback.
No. Getting Russell Wilson, that was awesome.
They're not Russell Wilson away from next year getting to the Super Bowl. But this is like I think a 2-3 year puzzle that they're putting back together.
Right, which makes sense.
And I just want to go back to the Giants real quick. Joe Schoen, like I said, this is his first pick as general manager of the New York Giants. And if Joe Shane was not on board and confident in selecting Thibodeau,
Oh,
he would-
O'Connell's off the board.
there he goes.
Yep.
Then I guess my hypothesis was wrong.
Again, this is all.
And I don't, listen, with the next pick in the Giants, obviously they weren't absolutely
Neal,
100% sold on Evan Neal.
Guaranteed Evan Neal's the next pick.
It could be Evan Neal or Charles Cross,
Evan
one of the
Neal.
two.
And I agree with you, our listener.
I'm going to back up my guarantee. I'll go 99.9%. Evan Neal's the Giants are selecting right now.
Yeah, could be.
Listen, all I can say is it better be an offensive lineman this time because they're not
Gotta be
getting
Evan
another
Neal.
bite out of the apple.
I'm not. This is like one of the few picks where I'm like supremely confident this is Evan Neal.
Well, if one of their picks is still on the board and Conway was one of them, and it's Neal or something, then the pick should be in 30 seconds here.
No, but you gotta wait to 10 minutes for the phone to ring. Because you just never know what somebody desperate and they want to offer something.
What is he wearing?
By the way, funny comment from my guy Mike Natal, big Jets fan on Facebook. So the Jets' first-round draft pick makes a wrong turn out of the green room, and instead of winding up on the stage with the commissioner, he winds up walking down a dead-end hallway. He'll fit right in with our Jets.
I'm sure Sauce wasn't told left or right.
Listen, I think the whole thing with the Jets is upper management, especially ownership.
Oh yeah.
I think
Listen,
those guys are a bunch
Woody
of
Johnson is
peanuts.
is one of the biggest boobs out there. Can we all agree? Buck Henry look alike.
By the way,
Right.
mentioning Brad's statement here, I had a thought here. Who would you rather have right now if you're the New York Giants? Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield?
Well, I just saw Brad's comment, and you know what? I don't think there's a lot of interest in Baker Mayfield. I don't think that's the
I'd rather have
solution.
Daniel Jones.
Me too.
Simple.
I'd rather
reason
have Baker.
is-
I'd rather have Baker Mayfield.
I'll take
Baker
Daniel
Mayfield's
Jones.
got an attitude. Daniel Jones is at least you can try to get him to do what you want. He may not be able to do it.
Listen, character-wise, Daniel Jones is a solid A.
Yeah.
Good guy,
Yep.
right? No,
Yep.
no question about it. Smart, intelligent. I get it.
He's got talent, Steve. He's got talent.
We've watched him for 3 or 4 years now. He's got more turnovers than he does touchdowns.
I get that.
And I get
that's going to be rectified. They were all over him. You can't blame a rookie or a second-year guy for turning the ball
But the
over.
question
Terry
is-
Bradshaw was the worst quarterback in the league, and he ended up winning 4 Super Bowls.
I don't see Mel Blount, Jack Ham, Andy Russell, Mean Joe Green, Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris, John Stallworth, and Lynn Swan on Daniel Jones' team right now. So,
But again,
Terry, my point is Terry was able to fix this real quick.
yeah, but it's also how was the Giants offensive coordinators using him?
I
They told him to do this, so they told
I
him
am
to do that,
factoring
and
that
ran
in.
certain plays.
Good point. He is guaranteed a lot of money, Mayfield.
Oh, way too much money. Way too much.
Well, Baker, if I remember correctly, Baker's got 1 more year that he got extended, right? Because he at the end of his, 5-year rookie deal, and they
Same year as
but
Jones.
Baker doesn't have the Deshaun Watson numbers or the Aaron Rodgers numbers, Russell Wilson numbers. Baker's going to have to, if Baker wants to play, Baker's going to have to take a little pay cut.
Yeah, but I don't think they signed him to the 5th. I think he came in with Jones, right? Or
Yeah, hey, is it the same year?
I thought
I think Baker was a year before.
I think it was the year
Maybe.
before.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
I got Frank. Same thing. Hold off until I
I know. You want to be.
And again, Baker's
not-
cocky attitude is Baker's
Here
taking a
comes-
step back because if he wants a job, he's got to rein that in.
This guy walks out like he's fucking Frank Sinatra in Vegas. Shut up.
Evan Neal, right?
Absolutely.
Evan Neal?
I'm not saying anything.
Was that the pick, Evan Neal?
I'm not
Yes.
saying anything.
That's
That was
my
the
pick. Please be right.
That was the pick.
That was the pick. Yeah.
Evan Neal.
Yeah.
All right, I'm dropping the mic. You guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the draft.
I went from insanity to, okay, you got away with it, Mr. Shane. You got away with it.
Listen, I'm on board with this.
Oh no, I love the pick now, but if he wasn't there and there was one of the big three wasn't there, he would have had a lot to answer for.
All right, so Brad makes the comment about Mayfield. It's guaranteed $18 million next year. Fine. Dak's making what? Aaron's making what? Russell's making what?
Right, but what have you seen in Baker Mayfield that says I'm paying him $20 million? Nothing.
This is what I saw from Baker
I think
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield can be a good quarterback. I do.
That's what I saw from Baker Mayfield. Blah, 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 blah. Let me talk bad about everybody except myself.
He's with
Commercials. Here's funny commercials.
My point is, I'm willing to give Baker Mayfield another audition to prove myself right.
Well, look, if guys like Marcus Mariota and these guys end up getting jobs, then he deserves a job in the league. But I wouldn't mortgage the future to trade and get his rights.
I'm not saying
That's not I looked at that there, Frank.
What?
All I'm saying, if there's an opening, Baker Mayfield, I think should have an opportunity to be a starting quarterback again. In the NFL.
Sure, no, I'm not disagreeing. I would say that's a very feasible.
And at $18 million, that's chump change for the quarterback market.
Yeah,
that's my point. That's all.
There's license plate.
If I'm the general manager, I would roll the dice and bring Baker Mayfield in and see what happens. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
There are people who said this year that Trubisky is due for a shot again at starting quarterback. So I think Mayfield's way better than Trubisky.
Well, I know how Frank feels about it. He already threw Trubisky under the bus.
I don't know if I'd want either quarterback. I have one of them, but I don't know if I'd want either of them.
I think I've seen enough of Trubisky to say he's a good backup, somebody to have on the team, but he's not a franchise quarterback, and I don't think Baker Mayfield is either.
And again, maybe you're right. I don't know. Am I happy about getting him? No, not at all. Do I think he has potential?
I have a question for Frank.
Yeah.
So what was it? 3 weeks ago, the scouting combine, Malik Willis pro day at Liberty. Mike Tomlin takes him out to dinner. Tomlin is on record. Loves this guy. If he falls to Pittsburgh, or it gets close enough where you got to jump 3 spots or whatever, do you think it's a viable possibility Malik Willis is drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think it's very possible. I think it wouldn't be a bad pick. But again, I don't have enough info on Willis to know how good or how bad or how raw, or I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I would definitely give it an opportunity. I remember when Cordell Stewart came in the league. Yeah, he was a quarterback. Yeah, he had some big plays in college. Right. But all of a sudden, the Steelers are using him as this. He's slash. He's receiving, punting, returning. He's all over the place. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not going to use quarterback. I think the quarterback at the time was like Mike Tomczak or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but then Cordell, he turned into, at least for, I don't know, what would you say, 4 or 5 years, a legit starter, a guy who made it different.
Right. But that wasn't a Mike Tomlin.
No, I understand it wasn't a Mike Tomlin thing. I'm just giving an example of
Malik Willis could
be in the league and wasn't used immediately that way.
Oh no, absolutely. He's that kind of a quarterback, that kind of mold, the Cordell Stewart type thing. That's a good analogy. I just don't know, and I haven't seen enough of Mike Tomlin to say, he won a Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger, which is the anti-Malik Willis type of quarterback, right? So I don't know where.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, back in the day, Ben was a pretty mobile guy. He extended the plays. I mean, is he as fast as Willis? Probably not. But he was definitely a force. There was, I think, Ray Lewis. I heard him comment, either it was this year or last year. Ben Roethlisberger was one of the toughest guys to tackle. Period.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no question. But
only was
he wasn't.
big,
He wasn't in the. He wasn't in the Donovan McNabb, Randall Cunningham type.
No.
Ben was never mobile. Can we all agree?
No, I
but
don't.
He was tough to bring down.
Day, he could extend the play.
Right, but he was so
I'm not
big.
saying
Could be a quarterback here.
Drake London to the Falcons.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Wow, the first wide receiver too, huh?
Yep.
That's a surprise.
Well, listen, the comparison to Drake London is to Mike Evans. That's
right, but you got Jameson Williams there. You got Garrett Wilson. That's a surprise to me.
Don't forget Chris Olave.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. I think Drake London is Mike Evans Jr.
So does that mean they're going to keep Matt Ryan? No, wait. No, never mind.
He's
Matt Ryan left already. Who's throwing the ball?
Marcus
Mariota.
Yeah.
So we know Atlanta's in the quarterback market next year.
Exactly. Yep.
Maybe Baker Mayfield could wind up in Atlanta. Who knows?
Their quarterback position potentially here. Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had Drake London going to the Atlanta Falcons. I could say that.
I don't know that a lot of people had him the number one wide receiver in a wide receiver rich draft.
I think you're right.
I heard quite a few people. They said he was definitely a number one.
He's he bona fide number one talent, whether or not the number one overall.
Right.
I think that was the question you're kind of asking.
Right.
But it's done. He's an Atlanta Falcon.
And and again, just getting back to if Pittsburgh picks Willis, I hope he turned out to be more than what he is. But again, I just don't know enough.
Yeah.
So would I be excited? I would be kind of like, I really don't know. I don't know. I got to give it an opportunity to develop.
Well, listen, that would have been a good space for the Falcons, right? They're past the Ryan era. The quarterback thing would have been good, but Mariota is obviously not the answer. And,
I think they're just renting him for a year because they know next year they're probably not going to be that good, and they'll probably be in better position to get a top flight quarterback who will hopefully, for their sake, fill Matt Ryan's shoes.
Yeah.
Mariota's just like a step over. I hate to say that. Yeah. He was a great player in college. I know he got to a national championship. He was decent in the NFL. Yeah. But he's just a step over.
Well, listen, so now who's on the clock, right? Now Seattle. Now we're talking about a quarterback need, right? Is it?
We've been talking about
is it a Baker Mayfield trade, or is it?
This is kind of an important pick. I don't know if anybody really knows this or has heard, but there's rumors of DK Metcalf leaving. And I'm pretty sure it's because he's got nobody to throw to him.
So what guys think about Brad's point there? When's the last time a quarterback was
Geno Smith? What are you kidding? He's got Geno Smith.
What? Geno's Pizza? What?
Wow, that's a good question. When was the last time a quarterback was not taken in the first 5 picks?
And we're not gonna. I'm not gonna look that up. I saw that comment, Brad, about 2 minutes ago. I've been scanning, and
yeah,
I'm struggling here.
Well, listen. With the Seahawks on the board here,
top 5.
The question is, is Pete Carroll there for the long term? Who took? Listen, we both, Steve, we watched Russell Wilson in college. We thought he was excellent, but we didn't see him having this kind of career that he's had, winning a Super Bowl. I sure didn't. So he's got that hole to fill, and whether they fill it with Baker Mayfield, maybe this is a Malik Willis type of thing. That's kind of a very, Russell Wilson was a mobile quarterback, or did they go the traditional guy like a Kenny Pickett or a Matt Corral here? I think quarterback may be in play.
Yeah, because you think about it, Pete Carroll's what? He's in his 70s, right?
He's the oldest coach in the league.
So
Yes.
he's a win now coach. So if they're not getting Baker Mayfield, why would he even stay for a rebuild?
I need a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
All righty.
Well, listen, I mean, I think Seattle has the draft capital. They got a ton from the Russell Wilson deal, right? But I think the question here is this may be a quarterback thing unless they, if they've decided that, Mayfield is too much maintenance, then I could see a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett here.
I'm surprised.
But Rob, you're absolutely right. I mean, Pete Carroll's 70 plus years old. I don't know. He's kind of running out of, fan base in Seattle. So I don't know if that's long term. That could impact the pick here.
Well, I mean, like I said, I heard rumors of DK Metcalf wanting out because there's no quarterback. I don't know about their other wide receiver. I mean, again, this may be a pick where if they don't make the right pick, like a quarterback, maybe they're going to lose other guys because of not making that pick.
Well,
Who is the guy there? They got rid of Wilson. Oh, Drew Lock? Is that?
And Geno Smith.
Jim Zorn?
Geno Smith.
Who is it? Oh, Drew Lock. Yeah, okay.
Or Geno Smith. Yeah. Or Geno Smith.
Yeah, Drew Lock or Geno Smith. That sounds like two quarterbacks that maybe I'll use in Madden.
Quarterbacks that should be in the USFL this weekend.
That's right. Yeah. Or the lingerie bowl next year.
A lingerie bowl.
All right. So far, a lot of surprises. Not going as planned as what we expected.
I think the Giants, they did good so far. They had.
I agree. I think they dodged the bullet and they did the.
But again, I think they had the bullet managed. I think they knew what was happening. Again, just from how it kind of worked out.
Yeah. All right.
They needed to. I think they for the fans and for the team and it was previously said that Wink Martindale, there were a lot of things to fulfill there. The picking the guy from Oregon is not a bad deal, but if they didn't get an offensive lineman out of those first couple of picks, then it would have been a failure.
I agree.
So Steve, Brad answered his own question.
2013, huh? What bums in the 2013 draft were drafted that year?
Wasn't that the year of all the bum quarterbacks? Wasn't that 1 year where every quarterback stunk? Like the I can't even think of top.
Hold on.
Oh, it might have been like Tannehill or something back then.
No, it was that year with all the weird quarterbacks.
EJ.
Oh, this Trevor Simeon or some shit like that.
EJ Manuel, say no more, Brad.
Here's the pick.
Oh, offensive lineman.
Cross?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's one of the 3 offensive linemen we said were going to be first-round draft picks, and, he sure was. But that leaves, that leaves the door open. Okay, you got somebody to block, but who's he going to block for? You got to have a quarterback in this league, I thought.
I just told you they got Geno Smith on the roster.
Yeah, you're right. Now here's the pick with the Jets, and it's either Jameson Winston, Williams, or Garrett Wilson. They got to go wide receiver here.
or they're trading it to the San Francisco 49ers for Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
I don't know your sources. You're hot to trot on that
I'm
one.
there too.
I got Evan Neal right. I got Derek Stingley right. That'll probably be the only two I get right out of the 32. If this trade is going to happen, it's happening right now.
It has to happen right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it does happen, I'm going on record. I think this is a no-brainer for the Jets to do it.
Here we go.
What about
So
all right.
the
Any
2013 draft. 2013 draft, Eric Fisher, Luke Joeckel, Dion Jordan, Lane Johnson, Ezekiel Anza, Barkevius Mingo, Jonathan Cooper, Tavon Austin, D. Milner.
At least Lane Johnson was fairly decent.
The first quarterback was EJ Manuel.
Yeah.
Right.
Buffalo.
Any chance here we see our guy Kyle Hamilton picked?
I think Kyle Hamilton's going soon. He's got it. This guy is so
He's the number
good.
one draft. He's number one prospect on Mel Kiper's board.
Yeah.
As far as Kenny
I don't
Pickett's
listen to Mel
concerned, I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins taking him.
You're not supposed to say Redskins.
I will always say Redskins,
So will I.
and I'll take the Heat.
For 60 some odd, 70 some odd years, it was okay. All of a sudden, it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Baloney.
Hey, Brad, I agree. Dion Jordan, I don't even know who the hell Dion Jordan is. What?
Dion Jordan was a linebacker at the
fast
University of
linebacker.
Oregon, and coincidentally, Thibodeau is from Oregon.
And our Mr. Franchino would like Jermaine Johnson here.
That's not a bad pick, Anthony.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not.
I'm going. I think that would be a good pick for the Jets. It's definitely a need, but without emptying the vault to get Debo Samuel when you can get a Garrett Wilson, I think that's the pick. Got to be.
And they traded up to get Dion Jordan.
Listen, if the Samuel trade doesn't happen, I can say Garrett Wilson as the Jets.
It says pick is in, so there's no trade.
All
They're
right,
all, all clapping at each other in the
it's Garrett Wilson. That's my pick.
Don't they have enough Wilsons on the team?
Yeah, they do. Or Jermaine Johnson makes sense too.
It's one of the two.
Yeah,
One
I
of the
agree.
I don't know about you guys. I can't stand Mel Kiper.
Oh, I love Kuiper.
We love him. We love him.
I think he's so full of baloney.
Oh, he's great.
We know that.
At least you don't make
Okay, at least we agree on that.
We still love him.
We do. We do.
Just wanna make
Frank.
Do you love him or is it the hair?
It's the shtick.
at least he makes he doesn't make bad comments to
It's that he loves this shit as much as we do. That's
Yeah.
my take on it.
you know what, at least he's not Adam Schefter making oddly timed comments against
Shefty.
deceased quarterbacks.
But Frank, I think who agrees with you was Bill Polian, who said, "Who the hell is Mel Kiper Jr. anyway?"
Exactly.
You know what it is? Over the years, I used to be big on him, and then I remember a couple of years I'm really following the draft, and he's telling me all this stuff. Listen, I understand it's very hard to predict, but I was like, bro, this guy wasn't even close half the time. I was like, what is he looking at?
Never close. That's why there's 30,000 mock drafts. And
Garrett Wilson.
tomorrow,
It's Garrett Wilson.
Then now there's two Wilsons on the Jets. Yay!
tomorrow we're gonna wake up to another mock draft for next year already.
Oh my God, this guy has half a suit. One half is white, one half is gray. What the?
George Jetson.
I think we got that one right, Steve. We
Yeah.
got that right.
Listen, that's a good pick. This guy is solid and productive.
Let's wait for our boy Mr. Franchina's.
Wow, they just compared him to Lynn Swan.
What?
I
I just saw it.
got it.
I guess because of his acrobatics.
You have to go that far back to make a
Yeah.
projection?
No, because of his acrobatics.
All right, yeah, that's okay.
Swanee.
Next up on the board is the Washington Commanders.
Kenny Pickett.
What's a commander?
It's either Willis or Pickett. I think the Redskins need to take a quarterback here.
Maybe they're going to get Sonny Jurgensen.
They could. Billy Kilmer should be about 560 pounds right now.
Where's Joe Theismann when we need him?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hey, Frank,
He's looking in
also-
the mirror going, I'm Joe
a
Theismann.
Kevin Bacon story. You just brought up Sonny Jurgensen. I remember I was 10 years old and the Giants were playing the Redskins at the Yale Bowl.
Oh
And
my
back
God.
then, so after the game, we went on, Steve and I, Steve was 8, I was 10, and they came off the bus and I actually I patted Sonny Jurgensen on the shoulder
We
going,
did.
you're the man,
And
Sonny.
for the audience, the Yale Bowl is at Yale University. It's where Yale
Right.
plays, right? So
Mr. Franchina approves.
it was 2 years before the construction of the Meadowlands. When the Giants left Yankee Stadium, it took 2 years to build the Meadowlands, right? So they played the season at Yale Bowl, and they played a season at Chase Stadium. But Jim and I and our brothers, our fathers, our late father, diehard Giant fan season ticket holder, we saw the Redskins. We were at the game where Joe Willie, Jets Giants, in the Yale Bowl in overtime, and Joe
We have a
Frazier,
trade.
right, and limped into the end zone, right? Great memories of that.
We have a
That's
trade.
another guy. That's another guy too. I can't stand Dan Orlovsky.
You know what? God, I'm
Yeah,
glad
like
you
he was a
brought that up.
quarterback in the league, but he was a career backup, and now this guy's like making pick. I'm like, shut up.
Guys, we have a trade.
Frank, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. New Orleans Saints are getting Deebo Samuel.
Oh, so we have a trade. Does that mean the Commanders trade Daniel Snyder to Attica State Prison for nothing?
Right, to
Nothing.
Leavenworth.
For a reprieve.
Right. The Saints are going to get Deebo Samuel.
No, the Saints are going quarterback here, Willis or Kenny Pickett.
I think the Saints are going to make a trade for Deebo. If it doesn't happen here, he's not getting traded.
I don't know. What's his name? Jameis Winston played good last year.
Oh, here we go. Washington trades to New Orleans, which is only.
Yeah, but Rob, I mean, how long is Jameis Winston going to be the solution to your problem?
I think he could be a winner.
The problem. Here's the
Snyder
problem
to
with Jameis
Miami
Winston.
for Ross. Good comment.
Hey, Brad, I'm going to have to turn down your trade request here. Daniel Snyder, I need a little more capital because this guy is the biggest asshole owner probably in all sports.
All time, no doubt.
Here's the problem with Winston. Winston's problem is he's what's the word?
Crab legs. Alaskan king crab legs.
No.
Inconsistent.
He's a big risk taker. When he plays, he almost reminds me of Brett Favre, but he doesn't have the same results as Brett Favre.
That's not
Exactly.
a bad.
He's not as lucky as Brett Favre was.
He's not as lucky or not as skilled. Because even though Brett Favre, I believe, is still the career leader for interceptions, he won games. He won big games.
Right.
Remember that one catch on Monday night? I forget who it was, where he just placed it in the back of the end zone perfectly. It was like a bullet.
Who, Favre?
Yeah,
It might have been Antonio Freeman.
right.
I think you're right, it was
Oh
Freeman.
no,
It was
his
one of the
I've
best
heard
passes I've ever
stories.
seen in my life.
I think they said he broke more receivers' fingers than any quarterback ever in history. He
Right,
would
yeah.
throw cannonballs.
Well, Elway was right up there too with.
Yeah, I never heard that about Elway, but
Yeah,
I definitely heard it about Favre.
As a Cowboy fan, if you're talking Green Bay Packer end zone, Antonio Brown still caught that ball.
Who caught it?
Antonio Bryant.
Antonio. Oh, Antonio
Cowboys,
Bryant. No, you
Cowboys,
mean Des
Cowboys,
Bryant.
Packers.
You mean Des
Playoff
Bryant?
game. Playoff game.
Des Bryant?
Oh,
Des.
the
Right. Des. I'm
I
sorry.
was like, who's Antonio Bryant?
No,
he caught that ball. He definitely caught that ball.
I was going to say something. What was I going to say?
I don't know why this Samuel is demanded a trade and the 49ers have to cave into him. Is he James Harden what is he's got like two years of credibility.
It's simple because Diggs is getting the money in Buffalo. Tyreek Hill's getting the money in Miami, et cetera, et cetera. This guy's number.
They have a track record, though.
This is what they're doing.
Yeah, but let's call it what it is. Both those guys, they established themselves as game breakers and winning big games. Even though Diggs's big game was that game against New Orleans,
right?
For that playoff game, but he was a very consistent player. He's still a consistent player. And Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy's.
You tell me Deebo Samuel after the last 2 years.
I'm not saying Deebo Samuel is not good,
special talent,
but his what's the word? His amount of work really isn't there because maybe he doesn't like the way his coach uses him because he's got him all over the place.
I agree. He doesn't have a track record to warrant.
You don't have enough. Oh my God, I can't think of the word. There's just not enough there. I'm not saying he can't be that, but I don't know.
I think Deebo Samuel has just created a niche with his skill set, right? Like he lines up as a running back, he lines up as a wide receiver, he scores touchdowns, produces yards. Guy's 25, 26. I think this guy is pretty damn good.
But Steve, he's done it for 2 years. That's it.
I understand that, but that's the roll of the dice you take.
I really think it could be the coach.
Why do you think San Francisco's so reluctant to trade him?
Well, because they know what he can do.
Right.
Listen,
they own him for another year. Right? They don't have to trade this guy.
Frank, who's on the stage there?
I don't know.
New Orleans.
Washington trades back to New Orleans. We had a Facebook user made a comment about Harden. That's the 76ers. Nets wish they didn't trade Harden.
Oh no, they're happy.
Mr. Facebook user.
They are happy.
I'm the biggest anti-James Harden guy you're going to find out here.
James Harden's a big baby.
Is that Tom Brady?
I think they're thrilled that they traded James Harden.
Yes. No, it's not Tom
That's
Brady.
just my opinion. And I am rooting hard for Toronto to come back against Philadelphia down 3-0, and it'll be the first NBA team to come back from 3-0, similar to the Red Sox beating the Yankees in 2004.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But I'm conflicted because I love Doc Rivers as a person, as a coach, as a player. I've always revered Doc Rivers. But Doc Rivers, he's had some teams where they failed miserably.
Well, listen, the whole reason this James Harden thing blew up is he's such an egomaniac that he realized he wasn't the best player on the team in Brooklyn, and they traded him to Philadelphia, and he's not the best player on the team there, and he can't deal with it.
So, Frank, why are all these guys on the stage?
They're season ticket holders. They're talking about that Amazon is going to be carrying or sponsoring.
That looks like Tony Gonzalez.
Hold on.
Isn't that the guy from the Chargers, the running back?
Who?
What, Tomlinson?
No, the current running back, the little guy.
Kamara?
No, the Chargers.
Current running back? Melvin?
The
Gordon?
little guy who gets all the yardage.
Look it up.
Yeah. There we go.
The
Pick
Chargers?
The Saints took Chris Olave.
Okay. Olave. Back-to-back Ohio State receivers.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel's not going anywhere, folks.
Yeah, I don't
You
know who
had his
that was.
bags
I don't know who that
packed.
was on stage, Rob. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was.
But I know those other two people, they were season ticket holders for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know why they had to be up there.
Maybe their last name was Hunt.
Yeah.
We got who's pick 12? Vikings. Now here's where we see Hamilton go. Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Kyle was projected a lot higher. But Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame as a safety. When Frank mentioned Troy Polamalu's name, Kyle Hamilton, I think, has the potential to be one hell of a football player because his resume at Notre Dame was impeccable, man.
No doubt. He's definitely a number one draft pick, but this whole kind of thing, just like we said in the beginning, one thing happens or one pick happens and everybody moves down the list. And Kyle Hamilton, you know what, Rob, it's not a bad pick. I think it's either Hamilton or Jordan Davis from Georgia.
Think about it. You'll have an all Notre Dame safety core there in Minnesota.
Yeah, Harrison Smith.
Yeah.
Harry.
All right, what do you guys agree with Brad here? Worst trade in sports history? Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the Yankees?
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Unless you ask Costanza's father. George Costanza's father hated what was that big trade he hated?
Jay Buhner.
For Ken Phelps. My baseball people told me Phelps. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Buhner's got a rocket for an arm.
The Lions. Wait, was there a trade? A trade.
Got a trade.
Yeah, the Lions are not picking.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, what do the Lions have to offer? How could
Malik
they even
Willis.
move up?
It's either Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. This is
Not the receiver.
Quarterback.
There's one more stud receiver out there.
They got Jared Goff throwing to him.
There's a couple. There's good. Burks from Arkansas is pretty good.
He's good.
Guy from Bama got hurt.
Yeah, there's still a couple more receivers out there, but
So was there, Frank, any word on a trade?
No, I'm looking.
This could be Kyle Hamilton. It could be Jermaine Johnson.
Kyle Hamilton in the Detroit jersey would be awesome.
no, this has to be a quarterback here. I mean, they must have moved up to get a quarterback. They need a quarterback.
I'll tell you what, though. If this is Kyle Hamilton, you get him and Hutchinson, your defense just took a step up.
Yeah, but the offense won't score any points. I mean,
Again, I'm gonna go with my instinct here, quarterback. That's what I initially said, because it's such a light quarterback class.
And as,
I think it's Willis. I'm gonna go with Willis here.
They must have traded. There must have been some trade.
here's Mel Kiper now. Maybe they'll say what. And right, Brad, still no quarterback taken.
You're right. Rob, are you able to look up what is the longest or what's the latest pick a quarterback's ever been taken? I don't know the answer to that. I think that's an interesting fact. And I got to think we're flirting with that territory now, no?
yeah, but they can't afford to continue without, you know, a plan to replace Jared Goff. He's just not the answer. He's
Yeah,
just
but
not the answer.
they have Goff for he signed for 2 more years, but 1 more year of putting their finger down their throat and living with it.
I guess.
So I think that's why it makes sense if they draft Malik Willis, sits on the bench for a year, not even a year.
Oh,
probably.
that's what it was. The Lions made a trade with the Vikings.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah. I can see them going Pickett over Willis here, though.
What about the receiver from Alabama?
Oh,
The guy
they got
got-
Jameson. They got Jameson Williams.
Okay.
I think the last wide receiver. All right. Not a bad
That
pick.
Williams must be delighted.
Hey, listen, the philosophy of the draft is if you want a guy and he's on your board and you love him, go get him. Right?
Yep.
That philosophy doesn't change from year to year. If that's the guy you want, you got to give up to get. You want Jameson Williams, go get him. But this guy is good. And Jameson
good.
Williams transferred from Ohio State to Alabama. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
I did
And
not know that.
he was tearing it up, and he got hurt. Was it the national championship game or in the SEC championship game? I think it was the SEC championship game. Otherwise, Jameson Williams would have been picked before Drake London if he was like completely healthy.
Yeah, but these guys, the medicine that today with, you know, an ACL tear, these guys come right back.
Yeah,
Of
an
course.
ACL tear today is like a root canal.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
It is.
1996.
Wow, 1996.
Was the latest.
No quarterback even taken in
What?
the first round.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't think that ever happened, actually.
Oh,
There were
God.
30-something. There were 20-something or 30-something teams that thought their quarterback.
Imagine the garbage quarterbacks in that class. Holy Christ!
Mm.
Billy Joe Hobart or something must have been in that class.
Billy Joe Hobart. Wait, Billy Joe. I met one of them. I met
Billy Joe Tolliver, maybe.
My
either
bachelor party.
Oliver or Hobart.
Probably Tolliver.
Ober was out in San
Tolliver
Diego.
started for the Chargers and played.
Yeah.
No, it was Hobart I met.
Billy Joe
Bachelor
Hobart.
party.
Yeah, Rob
He
was
played-
with me.
My
He played at
bachelor party.
Washington. Billy
Yeah,
Joe
your
Hobart
bachelor
played
party.
at Washington. He was a Husky.
Him and you guys remember Trey Junkin?
Of course.
Yeah.
Played
They
his
stood
tight
up
end.
They
Yeah,
were
Giants.
together. They were hanging out together. And I'm like, these two guys came and said, "Oh, we play for the NFL." I'm like, "No, you don't."
How'd
like,
you
show
meet
me-
them in a bar?
I'm like,
or
"Show me your license." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Billy Joe Hobart."
It's my
Like,
something?
bachelor-
How'd you meet them in a
Steve,
bar?
didn't Trey Junkin
Yeah,
go
we're
to
a
like
strip club.
Duke or something?
And
Was
what?
he Duke? Didn't Junkin, was he a Duke guy or something? Trey Junkin?
I just remember him from the Raiders. I don't know where he played.
He was a
college.
long snapper.
Yeah, and a tight end too.
Wait a minute, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he do something with the Giants?
Yeah, he screwed
Trey
up.
Junkin?
He screwed
No.
up the long snap that cost us a playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I remember him as a Raider.
Wow.
He was a big man.
I bet.
Holy crap.
I was
I
drunk.
bet.
Well, we got the Eagles on the clock here.
Yeah.
This may be the Kyle Hamilton spot, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that would be a good pick for them.
I hope not.
What do you mean you hope not?
Because we'd have to play him twice a year. That's why he's
Well,
looking at-
welcome to the NFL.
I'll never buy an Eagles jersey. I'll never buy a Cowboys jersey. So
I would never buy an Eagles jersey no matter what, you know.
Yeah, this could be Kyle Johnson or Jermaine Johnson. Kyle
Jermaine
Hamilton
Johnson,
or
yeah.
Jermaine Johnson.
pick is in.
Who were you guys thinking before that little running back from Sandy? Were you thinking of Darren Sproles or something?
No, it was Austin Eckler.
Oh,
Oh,
Austin.
Heckler.
Oh, Western Eckler, yeah. Darren Sproles. We
He was
remember. I mean,
fast.
I'm sure Jim does remembers him at Kansas State.
I remember him at Kansas State.
Right,
Me too.
but he's
was
had such
Fast.
a very good. He's had such a very good NFL career. Good
No
guy.
doubt.
Well,
Hall of
he
Fame.
stayed healthy. He stayed
Hall of
healthy.
Fame now, but you know,
Dude, he was 5'5".
totally.
He was a
Exactly.
little guy.
Yeah. Productive,
Playing amongst
fast,
giants.
shifty.
Oh,
That's somebody you want on your team. Is a
I think the
Darren
only
Sproles.
guy comparable in speed to him is probably Tyreek Hill. I never seen a guy move like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good comparison. I think Tyreek Hill is not going to be Tyreek Hill in Miami. I think Tyreek Hill, after about three practices with Tua, is going to realize these missiles that he's accustomed to getting are not really missiles anymore, and he's not going to catch it in stride.
They're going to be more like water balloons.
Yeah. And guess what? Tyreek is not going to break it because he's waiting for the ball.
But Steve, we talked about this when the trade happened. He's not going to Miami to play football. He's going to Miami to go to Miami and hang out with on South Beach, you know.
Yeah,
He had enough.
He got the money.
He had enough of the cold of Kansas City
Right.
and the landlock.
Now listen, this guy is super talented. I'm not diminishing. I'm just saying, Tua, Mahomes to Tua throwing you the ball as an ex-quarterback. Believe me,
That's
right?
like
There's a difference.
that's like Tom Brady and what was his name?
Scott Zolak, or throw out one.
No, I got one worse. Oh, I can't remember him. He was
like
I think
any
he was the
backup.
worst rated quarterback ever. He played for the Steelers.
Who? The worst backup ever?
No, the worst quarterback rated ever for a certain number of games, having played a certain number. He played for the Steelers. Oh, what the hell was his name? No, it was like in the 80s.
80s?
Oh my God. I used to know. I know his name too. I can't think of it.
What? Not like Terry Hanratty.
No. He was doing.
Sure, the 80s.
Yeah, it's the 80s.
All right, so Bradshaw retires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark Malone.
Oh, Mark Malone. You're right. He did.
The much maligned Mark Malone.
Tom Selleck lookalike Mark Malone.
Actually, I have a funny story about Terry Hanratty.
Go ahead.
I was so I used to be a technician. I used to do like computer work, phone work, stuff like that. And I went to this law firm, which I usually I went to, and we were putting new phones in. And the lady, I had to get people's names and put it in the system and stuff. And the lady, I go up to this lady's desk. She goes, "So and so, Hanratty." I'm like, "Hanratty? Like the quarterback?" I'm like, she goes, "Yeah." She's like, "He's my brother-in-law. He's an asshole."
Notre Dame guy.
Yes. Notre Dame.
Hanratty with 2 R's?
I mean, I've only heard that name one other time. I'm like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Hey, he made a career out of carrying a clipboard. You know,
starting quarterback at Notre Dame.
Supposedly, in the movie Rudy, remember at the end when they start bringing in the jerseys, we want Rudy to play.
That didn't happen.
But supposedly the first big guy on the line to do that is the Elmo Park guy.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Name?
I have to find it for you. I remember somebody posted that about a month.
You know, Joe Montana took so much offense to the Rudy movie, right?
Really?
Why?
Yeah, Joe Montana's on record saying, "Carried off the field, really?" And if this is coming from Joe Cool, he was never carried off the field.
Here's the Eagles pick.
Kyle Hamilton.
or Jordan Davis?
Yeah, Jordan Davis. Could be.
Got to be
Kobe
defense
Dean.
with the Eagles.
Kobe Dean. Devin Lloyd. Jermaine Johnson. Those are the picks.
I think at this point, and the Kobe Dean could possibly drop to the second round, and he's a first round draft pick. Man, I don't know.
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis, all right.
Jordan Davis.
When I Jordan Davis, first guy is Vince Wilk. Yeah, like that type of presence up front. Run. You're gonna have to have two guys double team him, right?
That's one big man.
But
He is
but
big.
the red flag I have on Jordan Davis was in the SEC championship game against Alabama, watching him sucking freaking wind in the second quarter. Second quarter. That's all I'm saying.
That happened to somebody else. I remember that too. Guy that played for Florida State, and then he went to Baltimore, and he was on their national championship team.
For Florida State?
Yeah, when they won with Winston. I forgot.
What position? Were you talking D lineman?
He was a D lineman, and he was early in the game. He's sucking wind. I'm like, are you kidding? And I remember watching this guy the whole year, and he was killing
Ernie
me.
Sims?
No, not Ernie. Ernie Sims. That was a long time ago.
Oh, Frank, do you agree
Not
with
really. Not really.
Hold on. Let me.
Frank, look at the
We're
screen.
not talking the 40s or 50s.
Being in Las Vegas only 3 the Patua chip is hurt.
Not a bad.
By the way, the name of the player,
not a bad bet there, Brad.
Tony Zappala, is the lineman from Notre Dame who put the jersey down first.
He's from Elmwood Park.
Yes.
All right, that's cool.
I think Brad is. I think Brad
is
is right on the money with Tua. He is not. He does not have an arm that can compete in this league. I don't know if it's a shoulder thing, but I watched him, and I liked the kid, and I loved him at Alabama, but he cannot throw the ball down the field. He has no arm at all. Crazy.
He has an arm.
I
The
don't
difference
see it.
is, as a quarterback, in my opinion, I'll use the term feather. He feathers it out there, right? He doesn't have,
What are we talking like hairdos now? What are we talking about?
no, we're talking the way he throws the ball and the spin rate on the ball. Tua doesn't have for John Elway, Andrew Luck.
Oh, I see. So he's
Right.
more of a
Right.
almost like a
Pat Mahomes.
finessing it.
Patrick Mahomes, laser beams. Tua is he's a lefty, number one, right?
Hey.
I'm not. Hey, Ken Stabler, right? Jim, Ken Stabler is one of our all timers, right? But I'm just saying, back to the point about Tyreek Hill, when he does a 10-yard down and out, Mahomes is ripping that ball where he turns his head, catches it in stride, and because of his speed and talent, it's up the field.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is going to make that 10-yard out, and guess what? He's going to have to take an extra step. He's just got to wait for the ball. And what does that mean? The safety is coming down.
Sounds like somebody's
and
getting
more
hurt.
times than not, he's not going to break it. That's
Right, but Tyreek Hill is a downfield guy, and I don't think Tua can get the ball to him.
That's another aspect of it. Yes.
Let me
Hold on. Speaking of safeties, the Ravens are on the clock and already made their pick already.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton.
It's got to be Kyle Hamilton because they love their defenders there.
No question.
All right.
Or the other guy they could like is this
Jermaine Johnson.
George Karlaftis.
Yeah, he's a linebacker from Purdue.
Yeah, this guy is a beast too. But I think Kyle Hamilton. When you think of Baltimore, what do we think? Ed Reed. Correct?
But there's still some
Ed Reed
defensive
Jr.
backs left in this draft, right? There's still some defensive backs in this draft. This kid Klein, another kid, McDuffie. There's defensive backs still on the board.
I think this is a no-brainer. It's Kyle Hamilton. Especially if we're talking best player available. And in my opinion, he's the best player available.
Yeah, well, there's still some players.
So there you go, Frank. There's some more Tua content for you on the screen.
But
I
here's
don't
my
know.
question
That's
about
the
Tua.
first thing I disagreed with Brad on. I don't think Tua has that arm that's NFL caliber. Anything more than 25 yards down the field, I really don't.
I agree with Brad, and I'm not kissing Brad here. But yes, within 20 yards, Tua can make that throw.
Yes.
But 20 yards plus as an NFL quarterback, and we're questioning that, that's a question.
I'm questioning it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Kyle
it's a
Hamilton.
legitimate question.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, I don't mind a purple jersey. All right. Better than Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt.
You only see it once every 4 years.
Jim, you need to interpret Garvey's comment here. What does this mean?
You can't see Lurch, some kind of bantam of the opera.
Lurch.
I don't know, Mike.
Somebody can't spell Bantam, isn't it Phantom?
Nails in.
Hey, Steve. So one of our loyal listeners on our show is Tony, right?
All
Big
right.
San Francisco fan. I don't know that this Jimmy Garoppolo is they can command anything for him. They're going to have to just waive this guy and maybe restack as far as
Kyle
their
Hamilton.
expectations.
Jim, you and I talked on the show about this. It's not a bad problem to have Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback.
Yeah, but they're not going to keep both of them, though.
Why not?
There's no guarantee Lance is anything.
I know, but you
got
got to give him a shot.
That's a good point, Rob.
Look at Wentz.
Who?
The Eagles guy who stinks now.
Wentz.
Yeah.
Commander Wentz.
He came once upon a time.
What's the guy's name? Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I know what his name is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. He gets hurt. He doesn't do good in big games. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like he had half a good year.
Carson
And
Wentz
even
cannot.
winning quarterback in the
I don't
Super Bowl.
think Carson Wentz can come back from the end of the season. The Colts are traveling to the Jaguars. If the Colts win the game against the 1-15 or 2-14s,
they go to the playoffs.
and Wentz shits the bed, that's why he's out of Indianapolis.
I'm not sure if he even knew where the bed was.
And I'll
Because
agree
at
with
the end of that game, well, I was watching that game very closely because that had a lot to do with Pittsburgh getting in the playoffs. So I was like, I'm looking at the score. I was like, come on, somebody's like punking me. I'm like, that can't be. I'm like, they really beat him? How is it possible?
you. Right.
He just, I don't know. Like I said, I think he had half of a good year, and he wasn't even the winning quarterback when his team made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
He
So
was,
that-
and I'm not a Carson Wentz fan. I agree with you, Frank.
He's
Most-
not a bad
that
guy.
season,
He's a character
before
guy.
he got
Oh
hurt.
yeah, he was. They were talking about MVP.
He could have been the MVP.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But the point
think-
is, again, again, back to the big game type of thing. That's why Washington is taking a flyer on them, right? However, I still think Washington's nuts not to have gotten Kenny Pickett or a Willis to sit for a year and have your quarterback of the future. Because Wentz gets hurt, and again, now on his resume is not performing in the big game to get the team to the playoffs. So that's all.
All right, here's a
I
pick.
hate the Washington Redskins, so I have no empathy for them whatsoever. So,
Another
but Kyle Hamilton to Baltimore makes complete sense.
Kenyon Green? I don't know who he is.
Texas A&M guard, outstanding.
Yeah. He's pretty small in today's standards. He's only 323 pounds.
Nah, this guy's a beast.
Sounds like the size of a refrigerator.
Yeah, he must be anorexic or something, this guy.
Yeah, he's anorexic in his earlobe.
Right. No, well, that was who they had on their board, I guess. Yeah. Who's on the clock now?
Hey,
Where did Washington move when
these
they
picks are flying in now. These picks are flying in.
Right, but where did Washington move after that trade?
They're
moved-
next. They're next.
Oh.
It's already in. Of course, they're gonna pop in circumstance it.
I'm going to say Kenny Pickett here or Matt Corral.
Dan Snyder's not available for the next 5 minutes. He's watching the cheerleaders get undressed.
You're watching the hidden camera in the.
Yeah, he's cooking the books.
He's in the peephole. He's cooking.
Pretty sure Daniel Snyder was the dorky kid from Porky's.
Yeah, maybe.
Always got caught.
Tommy Turner.
The other guy, not the little one.
Oh, I don't know the other guy's name. I remember Lassie and Tommy Turner. And what was the gym teacher's name?
Meat.
Beulah Ballbreaker.
Oh yeah.
How about meat?
Kim
Beulah.
Cattrall was the screamer up top in the gym.
Lassie, yeah. Oh,
Why
and don't
did
forget
you-
the principal. The principal where they're talking about his alleywacker.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good call. Beulah von Ballbreaker. I forgot about that.
I think Jim and I were in high school when Porky's came out, weren't we?
Yeah.
By the way, we have two new viewers from Bahrain watching Blackjack TV right now.
From
Hey
where?
guys,
Bahrain,
gals.
Where's that?
somewhere out in Asia.
Oh, okay, good.
Bahrain.
It's across the pond.
15 picks on a quarterback.
There's one going next. They got to take Pickett here or Corral.
Frank, you're
If
fan
he's
again.
there.
What?
Frank, you're fan again.
What fan? Oh, yo, Frank DeLaglio. What's up? I don't know who you are, but what's up? I wonder if this is my friend Julio.
Is he down by the schoolyard?
What?
Is he down by the schoolyard?
No, he was. I think he was on the show last year with us when we had like 20 people on.
All right, here we go.
Well, Pickett's in.
Spinning, but commercials, they got to make their money.
Rob had to go to the bathroom.
That was you.
Oh, I didn't go to the bathroom.
Oh, it is.
I went to the bathroom.
It is Francina.
Oh, it's Franchina.
It's Anthony Franchina. Is the mysterious Facebook
Franchina, how
user.
the hell are you?
You invited you and Phil to a barbecue with us.
What? Tell your brother Phil to come with you at a barbecue at my. When is it? Like tomorrow, tonight, right now?
Well, according to about 3 hours ago, Steve was there having a cheeseburger. So
I was, Anthony. Thank you. You made me a cheeseburger and I had tater tots.
Tater tots. Now, if he would have said tater tots, I would have showed up.
Anthony, your spelling is atrocious tonight, by the way.
Muggin' Oh, Memorial Weekend.
I could go for a cheeseburger right now. Now that
Oh,
you
no.
bring it up.
he made a good one.
Tell Frantina we're coming.
Tater tots, man.
Tater tots in the air fryer. Can't beat it.
Sorry, one
No,
thing
he-
better than tater tots. Those are
He
the
actually pan fried them tonight, which
sorry, one thing better than tater tots. That's potato rounds at Goffle Grill, the round ones.
Tater tots are the best.
Oh, no question. Orida. They have to be Orida.
I love Buckaboo burritos. They have
Wow.
tater tots.
Rob, you were a Goffle Grill, and I was a Clixies guy.
Clixies. Well, I'm more of a hot grill guy, but hot grill. Problem with hot grill is they haven't changed their seats in 30 years. So as we got older and larger, I can't fit in the seat anymore. It's a pain in the ass.
We're Callahan's, man.
Yeah.
I cannot find this Florida State player I was referring to. I'm looking on their roster from their championship team. I can't remember his name.
Defensive lineman?
Yeah, when I get it.
So what? When Bobby was the coach?
Yeah,
Right?
no, Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, Jimbo. That team?
Yeah. You said it was Winston's team.
well,
It was Winston's team. He was their top defensive end or defensive
I'll
tackle.
be right back.
Wow. I can't think of it either, Frank. I can't
I'll
think
find
of
it.
My pick is in.
Johan Dotson.
That's a wide receiver.
Oh, wow.
Might want to think about getting a quarterback to throw to Mr. Dotson, but
Jim, not our problem.
I guess. Play some cornhole. You know, I got to be honest here. I mean, I watched Penn State a lot. I didn't see anything that drove me to think that Dotson was going to be a top 15 pick in this draft. I'm surprised.
No,
by
I didn't
that.
hear his name at all.
Yeah.
Is he good?
I mean, it's some good moments, but we're talking top 16 pick in the draft. Wow.
And as Brad mentioned, no quarterback yet.
Right. And you still got guys like Burks from Arkansas on the board. That's a surprise pick.
No, Jim, we're Giant fans, right? We have some extra picks out there. That's not a bad position to get Jermaine Johnson. Really, really
Okay, I found who it is. It was Timmy Jernigan.
Timmy Jernigan.
Well, there was a Jernigan that played for the Redskins for a long time.
No, there was a Jernigan. I mean, that's maybe true, but he played for the Ravens as well. He got drafted by the Ravens.
Whoop, wrong pick. Sorry.
Oh.
I remember him too in a national championship game. He was sucking wind.
Hey, Rob, what were you talking about when the Giants? We don't have another pick in the first round.
I'm saying though, that's a good chance. That's a good time to go up and get Jermaine Johnson. Another guy that was on our list, right? He's dropping, obviously.
Oh, no question about it. I'm surprised he's still on the board, but
Hey, these picks are flying in now. All right, Chargers are in.
Zion Johnson, a guard.
Boston College, right?
Yep.
That's the guy Steve wanted.
Well, that's what they need. They need somebody. They need somebody to protect Herbert.
No, the Dallas Cowboys are taking Zion Johnson.
No,
Yeah, he just got taken.
Oh, he did. It's official.
Yeah, San Diego.
Then I'm Tyler Linderbaum. All in.
Why, you guys on the board? You're up next?
No, I'm a Cowboy fan.
getting close though. Pittsburgh's coming up. Pittsburgh, baby. Malik Willis. God. Let's go.
Yeah, this makes sense. This is going to probably happen.
I just don't know where everybody got it. That
Eagles, another trade. Eagles trade pick to the Titans. Titans can get a quarterback too.
Yeah, well, they're paying Tannehill for a while now. So
Oh, that's why my friend just texted me that. He said A.J. Brown to the Eagles.
A.J. Brown, they traded a player?
Yeah. A.J. Brown to the Eagles, and then he said Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals.
What?
That's what my friend just texted me.
I don't know. The Eagles drafted Devontae Smith last year. I mean, I don't know. They had to give up a lot of capital to get A.J. Brown. I mean, if that's the case.
A lot of capital. Jeez, I had him last year in one of my leagues. When he was out, we felt it. When he played, he was dominant.
A.J. Brown, Tennessee to Philadelphia.
Wow.
That's gonna hurt us there, Jim.
Yeah, that's not good. He's a stud. He's a stud.
Yeah, but he's been dinged up.
I don't know. He seems to come to work. He's no Kyrie Irving, you know.
Wow, A.J. Brown to the Eagles.
Hey, Rob, I just sent you something.
All right. Oh, by the way, Steve, you missed this one on your journey there. Steve and I will give Frank and your brother 5-1 odds at cornhole.
What?
Yeah.
You think so?
Me and Anthony are partners.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to play me in cornhole.
Bring it on.
I pitch softball. I'm pretty good at cornhole.
Come on.
Hey, Frank, I was a pretty good athlete my day. Okay, I'm not afraid of any challenges here. At 57 years
Anthony
old.
Francino was the leading scorer at St. Anne's.
This again?
Stop.
I gotta say, I wouldn't
Frank,
waste.
I would love to have faced you as a pitcher and me as a hitter.
Well, I'm a softball pitcher. I never played baseball.
I'm talking softball, Frank.
What?
I'm talking softball.
Oh, well, you played what kind of league though?
I played in the Oakland Men's Softball League, modified fast pitch.
Oh, okay. I played modified. Yeah, that's what I played.
Yeah.
I don't throw hard. I'm a lefty.
You're a pitcher. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All I got to do, Frank, is sit on, watch you for an inning or two, and I'm going to study 2 in 1 count, 3 in 1 count. I'm going to watch your demeanor. Right.
You want to hear something funny? For the bunch of times I've been teed off on, my demeanor never really changes. It's weird, and I know
That's great,
positions, and a lot of guys. I'm not saying I'm the best pitcher by no means. There are at least 4 or 5 pitchers in my league that can blow me away.
Understood.
But what my style of pitching is not conducive to a lot of guys I play against because they're all ex-baseball players and they want the gas, and I don't throw them the gas. I'm almost like, oh my God, who was the guy from Boston?
Tim Wakefield.
Yeah.
But you're a pitcher. But you're a pitcher. You're
right.
thinking,
yeah,
why, right?
Yeah.
So in Oakland, right, James Construction, Jimmy Potash's team is a name that Jim and I go way back with, right? Like, they've won, I don't know, 5 out of the last 8, 9. Their pitcher is a guy named Kay, right? He's an Indian guy. He's like 54, 55 now, right? Throws probably exactly like you, right? And we're like, it's 3-1 in the 6th inning. And we're like, how the hell are we not hitting K? Like it's unbelievable. Right?
But I'm sure they have pretty good hitters and they have solid fielders.
But the point is, like, we're not worthy because you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like, as a pitcher, you don't have to throw hard. You have to think and you have the ability, obviously, to place the ball. That's what I do.
I try to figure out my hitters and throw it where.
By the way, we are overlooking the fact that Anthony is now talking in third person.
Franchino was a hitting machine. Was that at St. Anne's also?
I played softball with Anthony. Anthony is the best going to the opposite field hitter in softball I've ever seen. I've ever seen.
We used to play stickball in the parks, but Frank never played with us back in those days.
Yeah, I didn't play that much.
Oh, do you know Rooster, Frank?
Rooster Rabinowitz?
From Elmwood Park?
Yeah, I know Rooster.
Oh, so I played softball with Rooster.
Yeah, he's actually
Mm.
the guy I used to work with. Him and his mom are really good friends. They both went to Elmwood Park. I forgot her name.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I know Rooster. He actually. So I work for Oakley. I work in a Garden State Plaza,
Right.
and he's been in my store a couple times, and I never realized who he was because I kind of didn't recognize him because I remember him having red hair and a mohawk, at least back in the day when I was a kid. And the guy that used to work with me that knew him, I'm like, who was that guy? He goes, oh, that was Rooster. I'm like, Rooster from Elmwood Park? He goes, oh, you know Rooster? I'm like, yeah, I know Rooster. Who doesn't know Rooster? I didn't recognize him, and he's been in my store quite a few times.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
guy,
haven't seen Rooster in over 10 years, but Rooster was a unique,
hey guys, what's the play
Personality.
here with Tennessee trading Brown? What's
They couldn't sign him.
Rosenberg.
They couldn't sign him. They were trying to sign
Yeah,
him.
this is not surprising. Tennessee was going to, A.J. Brown is like Debo Samuel. I want out. I want to get paid.
Who?
And Tennessee was not going to pay him. So the Eagles.
they just took a wide receiver?
Isn't that the burner from Arkansas?
Burks?
Traylon Burks.
Burks.
There are guys going now that aren't even like I haven't read about yet.
Yeah, Burks was considered one of the top, 5 or 6 wide receivers, but
Yeah, I'm saying you're going past that initial 4 or 5 guys that everybody knows about. Now we're getting to that second level, but yet we're still in the first round.
what pick was that? Was that like the 18th pick, Rob?
18, yeah. Saints are back on the board. Then Pittsburgh.
Who's on the board now?
Saints.
Might be QB time.
Yeah, it could be QB.
Well, considering you have Saints and Steelers back to back.
Oh, so it might be good. Maybe we'll get a quarterback. I really like Kenny Pickett. I don't know why. I just like him. I thought he was a very he was just a good quarterback. I think he had good talent. They say he doesn't. They say he didn't have a strong arm. It looked like he had a strong arm to me.
I thought he did too.
Take care, Brad.
Yeah.
Thanks for contributing today.
Thanks, Brad.
Brad, thank you, man.
No doubt. Thank you, sir.
Looking forward to meeting you, too.
Yeah.
If ever gets to New York, he's in the
Huh?
We're building a production thing together, so it might be
Sal
out.
Marino.
Sal Marino joins the fray.
Hey, Rob, if you could post this right now, what I just sent to you. Sal was with me at my daughter's performance on Saturday, and I think Sal would love to see this announcement. If you could do that.
All right, let me do it now. Hold on.
Okay, I just have a shout out to my daughter, and bear with us, folks, but I'm awfully proud of my daughter. Sal,
That's serious. If she could help us out somehow,
yes,
a lot of stuff I could do.
And Sal, you're right. I do toss a mean whiff of ball. But it's great to see you, Sal. So Sal's wife, Kim, is the drama director at Indian Hills High School, where my daughter goes to. And for 4 years, Sal's wife, Kim, has treated my daughter with love and respect, and has made her a better performer. My daughter sings, acts, dances, and was just in Roxy, performed as Roxy in Chicago as their last play at Indian Hills. And thank you, Sal. Please tell your wife I said thank you.
So I think this is going to end the streak. I think we're going to have a quarterback taken at least in the next 2 picks. There's going to be one.
Yeah, I mean, this A.J. Brown trade, I think, is a home run.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big in
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
ways.
I
It
mean-
affects a lot of teams.
Yeah, but they, obviously it's a financial decision to trade him and then draft a wide receiver and pay him rookie money. But he's one of those top flight wide receivers in this league, and if they're paying these other guys,
And he's young. He's relatively young, too.
Wow, that's a surprise move.
Devonta Smith and this guy on one side and him on the other, that's pretty good. Regardless that Jalen Hurts is the quarterback.
Assuming Hurts can get him the ball, yeah.
Right? This Howie Roseman guy in Philly, I think this guy's a pretty good GM, to be honest with you.
What, in Philly?
Yeah, Howie Roseman. Sal, thank you for those compliments about my daughter, Emily.
Here's the announcement.
Here we go, folks. My daughter today made an announcement that she's going to be attending my alma mater, Boston University. And I couldn't be prouder of Emily Grace Monahan. I love her beyond. Found out about what her choice was. And she loves performing arts and film and, TV. And that's what her passion is. And I wish her all the best, and I love you, and I just wanted to share that with the audience. Thanks, Rob.
Congratulations.
Well, make sure you tell her to get her godfather a Boston University sweatshirt or something.
Her father comes first, of course. I haven't been to the BU bookstore in a while. I can't wait to go back to Boston University and see the old boys.
What happened? You went there for a scholarship and they stopped football?
Well, I went in the 80s. Yeah, I got recruited by Boston University as a quarterback. That's how I got to the school. And so 83 to 87.
Wow.
But in 1994,
Wow.
BU dropped football. BU is essentially a hockey school first and foremost.
Saints don't take a quarterback. They take an offensive lineman, Henning.
Okay, he's up there.
Yeah, but
Now let's see who Pittsburgh takes.
Malik Willis.
I don't know where everybody got that.
It's a done deal.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody got that.
This Trevor Penning is a pretty good prospect, and if the Saints like him, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, they were saying that Winston's kind of like a bridge quarterback, so maybe they're doing the same thing. They were saying that Winston's kind of a bridge quarterback.
Yeah, well, a bridge to nowhere takes you nowhere,
Well, as far as Steelers are concerned, they wanted a receiver, but I mean they're all gone so far. Like I said, they're dipping into the second level of wide receiver. So
hey, I've seen Pittsburgh pull some rabbits out of their hat. And
well, listen, if everyone is right on this, and Malik Willis is the pick should be in 30 seconds, and I don't see it happening, so I'm not sure.
Nah, they're still counting.
Yeah.
Frank, see my scroll?
What?
See the scroll in the bottom?
Oh.
Where? Oh, on the clock. Pittsburgh Steelers. Because we won 6 championships.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I just don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it's Willis. It could be Pickett. I think it's a quarterback one way or the other, but I don't know where everybody got this. Mike Tomlin is so hot on Malik Willis, he'll do anything to get him. I don't know where that came from.
Mike Tomlin took Malik Willis out to dinner after his pro day.
So did every other coach.
No, I mean, that's a lot of dinners, Jim.
They got a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
They can afford it.
Yeah.
It makes sense that the
Pick is it.
Steelers.
Frank, no words until I,
Oh,
It
stop.
makes sense that the Steelers have a quarterback of the future sitting in their lap right now, and it'd be nuts not to take him. And again, especially with the way the salary cap is now structured, right?
huge, yeah.
It's just not Sam Bradford, if I remember, was the last
one, yes.
bonus,
Baby. Last bonus, baby.
6-year freaking $170 million nonsense. If you take a quarterback in the first round, you're not breaking the bank. Hence the Daniel Jones thing we're talking about year on year 4 or 5 or whatever the hell it is.
So, Jim, question for you regarding Daniel Jones, Jim.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, we pretty much passed up Daniel Jones. We passed up the linebacker, right? The stud linebacker for Daniel Jones. That was the big conjecture at that time. How is that guy doing? I think it's the what guy? It's this guy with the same name as the somebody else. Who am I thinking of? It was a big linebacker that was coming out that everybody thought he was the pick, and he went somewhere else, and I think he became pretty good. Guy from Jacksonville, right?
Mac?
Miles Jack?
Miles Jack?
Miles Jack.
No. It was some guy. The guy from he's from Montclair, actually. That guy.
Sam Mills?
No.
Right.
He has a very common name. That's why.
I can't think of it, Rob.
Let me think.
Was it Frank, a pitcher in Bloomington, New Jersey?
Frank was a goalie in high school. He didn't play football.
I didn't play football. All I played was soccer.
I can't think of who you're thinking of, Rob.
I'm looking at it now. It was a guy that was but he was a linebacker that we probably should have taken, and
I'm not putting Jones out to pasture yet. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay. You stay strong, Jim.
I will.
He's strong.
Don't let those 40-plus turnovers in 4 years bog you down.
Okay.
there we go. Steelers is in.
From Jerry Falwell University.
Could be Pickett.
Could
Dante
be.
Fowler.
It could be Kenny Pickett.
Rob, you're
Listen.
talking about Dante Fowler.
No,
Yeah.
no. Linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
No. He's from with the Kentucky.
Oh, you mean Josh
Allen.
Josh Allen?
Wow.
He's not a linebacker.
Yeah.
I think he's a defensive end.
Defensive end.
And he was like the big stud that we
But you know what? Back to Pittsburgh, we're kind of missing the obvious here. Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh.
Well, that's
No,
that was the big
that's
story.
why I like Pickett.
So let's say that, yeah.
That was the big story. They always regretted it not.
I just think
Dan Marino.
I think they're just grading Willis higher. That's my only point about that. And I have a higher grade on Willis. than
Franco Harris, baby.
Oh, it's Franco Harris.
Franco, the
I'm in the
immaculate reception.
I'm in the Army.
Rob, you were right. There were 2 Josh Allens in that draft. I think.
Right, there was the quarterback and the stud linebacker from Montclair went to Kentucky.
No, I think he was from Memphis or something.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay, let's drag this out some more. Who's the pick here? Another Jersey guy, Franco Harris.
Yeah.
I love Franco Harris.
I met him at Yankee Stadium doing a covering an event, and he was there. He was the honoree.
Nice guy.
Yep, and right there, I got indoctrinated into the Franco's Italian.
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny.
Kenny Pickett. I am happy. I like him.
Very good.
That's what I was saying. I just don't understand where everybody came up with Mike Tomlin wants Malik Willis and he'll get him at no expense. I don't know where that came from.
He lives up to
I
half
do
of
too.
what Marino's career was, because I never realized that Pittsburgh passed on him. How do you pass? And I know why they passed on him.
Smoke doobies.
Right, because his coach Foch Fazio just kind of badmouthed him that he was a pothead.
Well, I know everything
What,
there is to
Marino?
know about Dan Marino.
Yeah,
He was
Foch
doing
Fazio.
he was doing coke his senior year. Let's be real.
Oh no, there's no doubt about it. That's
Well,
that's
I didn't know that.
and
no,
that's
there's
it.
no doubt
I mean,
about it. He was,
Frank, watch this. Frank, watch the screen. He is so emotional right now because he's going to Pittsburgh.
it's great.
That's
This is
awesome.
a great story.
That is awesome. Look how emotional he is.
I feel vindicated.
6'3", 217 from Jersey too, right? Another guy from
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah, it's from Jersey.
Yeah, we went to that before. Stayed for a senior year, came back 1 year, right?
Come on, they changed the rule in college football because he did a fake slide. I never seen that done before.
Yeah, I
He
know.
juked,
Yeah, right.
he literally untied the defensive guy's shoe, and they and like what? Like, why change the rule?
That was a violation of protocol. You know that, right? I mean,
But it was one hell of a move.
You know,
well, I
I'm
feel
gonna
so
say-
vindicated. I'm going to step aside for a moment and relish in
I'm
my.
going to say something here that I may put my foot in my mouth, and I'm not sure, but this is what I'm feeling, and I want to say it. Right, Black Lives Matters and all this stuff, and the way the country is, so on and so forth. And what are we talking about? Football, right?
Yeah.
To me, I kind of just thought about this. Mike Tomlin is a Super Bowl winning black head coach in the NFL. And I don't know if there's one person I've ever met or talked to that doesn't respect Mike Tomlin as a person, as a coach, right? As a role model, whatever. Right? So you have the choice of two quarterbacks here. Malik Willis, who's black, and you have Kenny Pickett, who's white. Right? I'm just throwing it out there, right? Like, I'm not saying because Mike Tomlin picked a white quarterback, great for the white race. Not at all. My point is, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers evaluated Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett, regardless of their skin color.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay? And at the end of the day, and I feel sad that I even have to comment on this. They chose Kenny Pickett. Why?
Because they thought he was a better
the
quarterback.
Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're looking for, in their opinions from all over the organization, who they think the better of the two is. And Kenny Pickett happens to be white. Malik Willis is black. Mike Thomas is black. To me, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But I think it's important just to reinforce in today's society, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff, and right, and the political nonsense, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers chose, in their opinion, the best quarterback. That's it. Okay, and I hope our audience understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it was a pick on skin color or race. I think it was a pick on pure talent and ability to help lead the franchise.
Right.
This is we're talking. We're not talking like being a favorite or being a underprivileged person. We're talking about money here. I mean, if we really think about it, as much as we love our teams and sports, these guys are out to make money. And I'm not even talking about the players. The owners aren't out to lose money. They're out to make money. So how do you make money? By picking the best player possible, regardless if he's blue, purple, green, pink, doesn't matter.
Right.
So I think it was a good pick. I wanted this pick to happen. I hope he becomes
An icon in Pittsburgh. I mean,
I
he's already
do. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
on
Because
top of his status as the best quarterback statistically at the
as
university.
much as I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, growing up, Dan Marino was my childhood idol. I watched, the story goes, I watched a college football game, didn't realize it was a college football game. I thought the Steelers had changed their uniforms, and I'm like, what am I watching? I'm like, oh, Italian guy, quarterback for Pitt. I'm like, did they just get a new team or something?
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
just
got to
started
admit,
following Marino.
Pitt's uniforms in the Marino era, pretty cool.
So you guys haven't noticed, the Patriots trade the pick to the Chiefs. Chiefs are now picking.
Okay. Jim, what do you think of my commentary?
Trent McDuffie.
I was powdering my nose for a moment, so I missed the context. But I know it was regarding the Pittsburgh pick and the quarterback, and I'm saying, well, maybe he took out Kenny Pickett for dinner as well, not just Malik Willis. So
Exactly. And let's also remember, Mike Tomlin just hired Brian Flores to be his top defensive assistant.
In my opinion, and again, not because I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, but just because I'm a football fan, Mike Tomlin is a class act.
I think he's great.
I don't care what anybody says about him. I don't want to hear who he hired, who he picked as quarterback. The guy's a class act. He always says
I think
the right
so
thing,
too.
does the right thing.
I think he's
Not worthy. Mike Tomlin is one of my Mike Tomlin is everything you want.
No doubt about it.
You guys know the name Frank Dawson by any chance? You know Frank Dawson?
Top of my head, I can't say.
From Garfield.
Frank Dawson, I can't say top.
He's about a year younger than I am. A year or two younger. We actually worked together at Herman's Sporting Goods. Remember Herman's Sporting Goods?
Herman's, yeah.
So his dad
we remember.
His dad was AD at Garfield for a lot of years. Anyway, he's a big guy. So he went on to play a lineman at William and Mary University.
Oh, the Indians.
His two teammates were Mike Tomlin,
Stan Yagiello,
and Sean McDermott from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's right.
Both of them.
Yeah. And Mike Tomlin, not from a very nice neighborhood. He comes from Newport News, Virginia. Same city as Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Grew up a hard life. And you know what? I give him a lot of credit. He made his way out of there. He played college football. He made it to the pro ranks. And I think he's one of the more successful coaches.
No question about it.
Years.
And he's never had a losing season as a head coach.
Never had a losing season. That's
unbelievable.
Even if he never won a Super Bowl, which he did, that's one hell of a stat.
No, Steve and I have talked about Mike Tomlin on our show before. We couldn't be, more respectful of what he's accomplished in this league. I think
Mike Tomlin is one of the guys in sports today that I would love to meet in person and shake his hand and look him in the eye and say, Coach, huge fan, man. Pleasure to meet you, man. And that's it.
One day.
Hey, Rob, what pick are we on now? Like 21?
22. Green Bay Packers.
Because I have one of our loyal listeners on Sports with Mano and Mano is watching the draft. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. So I wanted to give a shout out to Bernie and Patrick watching, and they're eagerly anticipating the Buffalo's draft pick. And I told him I thought they were going to go offensive lineman. He doesn't think so. So, Bernie, we'll see what happens with 3 picks away. Enjoy the show.
You're going to tell Bernie that.
Hey, Bernie, why don't you type the name of the player that you think that Buffalo is going to take?
And by the way, Bernie, just so
you know, Bernie, I miss you, buddy.
Not only do we have Dow Fans Radio on Surge Sports, we also have Viva Los Bills. So right now they're on a bit of a hiatus, but the two guys talk Buffalo Bills every week. So they'll be back on the air soon.
Yeah.
All I know is the Cowboys are taking Zion Johnson at 24.
It's already taken.
He's gone. He's gone.
I know he's gone.
Now, guys, get back to Green Bay here. Green Bay needs wide receivers in the worst way, and now we're in like tier 2. of the.
Yeah, they signed a couple in the off. They signed a couple guys though.
Tyler
Scanlon.
Linderbaum.
I don't know. Here it is. We'll see. I don't know who's left though as a receiver.
Oh, they got a linebacker.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd.
Hey, Walker.
No, Quay Walker.
Clay Walker.
Oh, Quay Walker. Yeah. That was a loaded defense that Georgia had. Yeah, you got the number 1 pick in the draft. You got Walker. You got Jordan Davis. You still got Nakobe Dean on the board. You can see why they won the national championship.
Well, they got a good coach too, Kirby Smart, right?
He is great coach, and he comes from the Nick Saban school. So there's no surprise there.
Tell Bernie.
Oh, that's right.
Hold on, guys. Tell Bernie. Bill's on the clock. He made a trade.
Trade for the Bills?
They're on the clock now. Yeah.
The Bills select out of Leavenworth Prison from Cell Block D.
Oh no. Oh no.
John Dillinger.
Hey Steve, you better watch it because I think Buffalo could steal your guy Linderbaum from.
They might. Don't think the NFL GMs are not watching our show, listening to us. By the
Dallas
way,
is next. Dallas is back-to-back picks. Steve.
what?
All right, no, DALBAL. I don't have my glasses on. So
Quay Walker, the
so
Packers
basically-
pick makes sense because Zadarius Smith, the Packers stud linebacker got hurt, and that's a need for him. But we all thought receiver, obviously, with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but they signed Scantling or whatever the guy's name was, and I thought they signed Juju Schuster.
yes,
Well-
yes, correct. Now get back to Steve real quick. Now, for some reason, Buffalo has flip-flopped in front of Dallas. So they traded with Baltimore to move up 2 spots to leapfrog the Cowboys. We'll find out soon. But what does Buffalo need?
Those sons of bitches.
And they think Dallas wants.
I think Buffalo needs an offensive lineman or a defensive back. I think they're set on most of the other positions on there. I wouldn't be surprised that the Linderbaum would be the pick here.
Funny.
I was hoping that Will would pop on for a second because he was taking a class tonight. But
Well, to be honest, I'm honest. I don't know who Buffalo's going to select. Right? I just don't know. I don't know.
but it's interesting how they leapfrog Dallas.
Right? They want somebody. Is Karlaftis still on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be him. Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
He's still out there. It could be him.
Yeah, but they got a pretty good defense already.
Well, depth is always
Devontae Wyatt still out there, Steve?
listen, now we're in the territory of best available player, correct?
Yeah.
We all agree that. So I think a lot of
But we
draft
just
board-
talked about, how many guys from Georgia. This guy Devontae Wyatt's still out there as well from Georgia.
Right, that's why they were the national champions.
Apparently.
I'm going to go with the names I mentioned. But I think it's got to be one of those guys.
Pick is not in yet.
They're taking their time.
Usually you make a trade though. You
They
want.
have every right to do that. This Karlaftis though was pretty damn good from Purdue.
Pick is in.
I don't think this guy has been picked yet, but from a Buffalo perspective, if they don't go offensive lineman and they go D-back, this Kyler Gordon from Washington, it seems like the best available at this time. If
Could
they're
be.
going to go that route.
And And there's also a chance, don't forget, when they drafted Josh Allen in the first round, they also drafted Tremaine Edmonds as well. So there might be a chance where they can only afford one of the linebackers, and maybe you have the kid from Utah going here, or Dean.
Yeah, I'll go Lindenbaum or Gordon here for Buffalo.
Again, Buffalo really is a solid team, right now. So they're once again they're drafting depth.
Right. If I'm gonna make a pick, I'll go Jermaine Johnson from Florida State or Carl Aftis.
I think
Those
they're
are
pretty
two
good on
beasts.
the D line. I think if anything, defensive be cornerback and they got a pretty good history of cornerbacks.
Well, Jerry Hughes is getting older, right? I mean,
Did he cut?
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility that you got a young stud like Johnson or Carl Aftis, waiting their turn.
But I'd worry about protecting your franchise quarterback for the next 10 years.
Yeah, without
Again, I'm not to be honest, I'm not confident on this pick. Like I'm just being honest with the audience. I really have no idea what they're going to take.
Yeah, without a upright Josh Allen, Buffalo doesn't have a chance.
Okay, so who's the best lineman out there?
Lindenbaum.
At center.
Yeah, but it's.
Listen. This guy is. I think Lindenbaum's going to be first team All Pro in 3 years. For 6 years. For 6 years, right after that.
Here's the pick.
Kaiir Elam.
Okay.
Cornerback.
As I said, I had no idea who Buffalo was going to take. That's okay. That's a need.
All right. Well, that's the one that most of us didn't have in the first
Yeah,
round.
they lost the guy to the Giants. It makes sense. Levi Wallace came to the Giants this year. He was their number 2 cornerback.
Well, they lost Gilmore too.
What's that?
Levi Wallace is with the Giants now?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that's good for them.
Yeah, they lost Gilmore as well too.
But I gotta say, on all the projections I've seen, Kaiir Elam, his name just doesn't stand out to me, just to be honest. And I'm not saying he's not first round worthy. The Buffalo Bills have done their homework. They know a hell of a lot more than I do. Okay, but I'm just saying he's a name that just doesn't stand out for me.
I didn't have him on my board at all. I don't. Yeah.
All right, Steve, this is your pick here. Who you liking?
So Bernie, you're liking that pick, aren't you, Kaiir Elam, huh? I got to go Tyler Linderbaum here.
Not Jermaine Johnson?
No. You check my phone. I got a couple Cowboy buddies that are chiming in here. Let's see.
Well, listen. I mean, we're still winding down the first, but I think this Jermaine Johnson, he's probably, and I'm not watching, Kuiper or any of these guys, but he's got to be one of the top 2 guys still on the board.
Top remaining. Mel Kiper's top remaining.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Come on, Giants, make a move. Let's get him.
I don't know, Rob. What's the Giants' position in round 2? Do they got any bargaining power at all?
They got 9 picks, so they have to have something. God knows we can't sign all of them right now.
I want Tyler Linderbaum. That's my pick.
So if you don't get Lindenbaum, who else would you want?
Dennis Johnson.
Like we said, Jermaine Johnson, Karlaftis. We had a bomb pick as Cowboy fans, Taco Charlton 5 years ago, right? So Jermaine Johnson, Karlaftis. The good thing about the Cowboys now is Will McClay, which they extended, runs the draft for the Cowboys. Okay, the Joneses obviously own the team, etc. But it's not Jerry, I want Johnny Manziel, type of thing. Will McClay knows what he's doing. Okay, he's the one who selected Micah Parsons last year, right? Best player available.
36.
Best player available. But Linderbaum, to me, I think this guy's a beast. I just think he's a beast.
I know, but I think if you're looking at the best player around, this guy Johnson would fit pretty good with the Cowboys.
Correct. I agree. Devin Lloyd off the board yet?
No, he's not.
That could be the other pick. It could be Devin Lloyd.
Is Jerry's World?
It could be Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, he's still around.
Like how they have the players in the green room waiting to get picked and everything. They focus on them, see if the phone rings.
Wow, we're getting late in the draft, and a lot of people's, potential first player picked in the draft, couple of guys, right? A lot of people were with Willis and Jermaine Johnson, and now we're 25 picks in, and these guys are still on the board. Crazy.
Right.
Pick is in.
Let's see.
Picks in or no?
Yeah.
My buddy Anthony Maysfield, fellow diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, thinks it might be Jermaine Johnson. And trust me, Anthony Mayfield, he knows Cowboys, and Anthony and I have gone to a couple Cowboy Giant games together, so he's as passionate as I am about the Cowboys. But listen, there's value out here. So, from the Cowboys' perspective, there's some good value here.
No doubt. There's still some solid players, like you said, Steve, with Wyatt and Devin Lloyd. There's still talent out there.
Nakobe Dean.
Kobe Dean, yep.
Hey Rob, we can only hope that he's around when the Giants get him. That would make my draft right there.
Giants picked 36, which will be the fourth pick of the second round.
That would be a steal. That would be for Joe Shane. That would be a great draft for a rookie GM. That would be awesome.
Now, didn't KC pick a D-back?
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, it hurt us for the Bradbury trade.
Here it is, Steve-O. Oh, Tyler Smith, tackle from Tulsa.
All right, folks, I'm tapping out for the night. It's great.
Good night, everybody.
It's great to spend NFL Draft 2022 with you. I have research to do on my new number one pick. I never heard of him. Being honest. But if the Cowboys think Tyler Smith is the answer at tackle, who am I to argue?
There's got to be something going on with this Jermaine Johnson that he's still on the board. I mean, wow.
But I really am tapping out, folks. I have a day job in the morning, and I have to get up quite early. And I'll let the experts finish it out. Rob, thank you. I absolutely enjoyed the NFL draft on I-95 and Jersey Frank. Can't wait to meet you. And,
Same here.
Yeah, looking forward to our banter going forward, back and forth. My brother Jim, you're my brother. I love you. And,
I'll see you on Sports with Mono and Mono on Saturday.
Right. I'm Mono and you're Mono?
That's the brothers Mono. Yep.
For everybody, he's the first Mono and I'm the second Mono.
Not early.
No.
Not that it matters anymore. I don't work late anymore, but
And Facebook user, good night, Steve. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And all right, I'll see you guys.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Take care.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Ravens on the clock, Rob. I mean, at some point we gotta get it right, Frank? This guy Jermaine Johnson, unless
again, the team that thrives on finding players that drop, right? They got Kyle Hamilton already. Now Jermaine Johnson, they're going to load up the defense in the first night of the draft.
Yeah,
if they get him here, that's scary for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I was them, I would definitely be a little concerned with running back, wide receiver. I know there's not that many out there, but I mean, other than Lamar Jackson, who do you got?
Oh God, I can't even think of who was their feature.
Well, Hollywood Brown is gone. Hollywood Brown went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Did he win today?
Yeah. Yeah. He got traded.
Who did they get? Somebody that signed like Chase Edmonds or something?
Chase Edmonds is in Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know. But again, I'm not the manager, the general manager for them. And
hey, listen, the Ravens won a Super Bowl with a defense. They didn't have an offense. Yeah.
They won with a defense and a game manager in Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer is considered the luckiest man ever to win a Super Bowl.
By all means.
Not Brad Johnson?
No, Brad Johnson could throw a ball.
Yeah, but Brad Johnson never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Who was the Tampa quarterback when they won?
Yeah, it was Tampa. He played for Tampa.
Brad Johnson was the quarterback in Tampa the year he won it with Gruden?
I believe so.
I'll check it.
Wow. I didn't think there was a more obscure quarterback to win a Super Bowl than Trent Dilfer, but I stand corrected if that's the case.
Yep, Tampa Bay, 2003.
Wow.
Brad Johnson, yeah. He was a pretty decent quarterback. He could throw the
good
ball.
Career, had a couple good seasons with Minnesota.
Yeah, he had a couple good seasons with Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have Tennessee. Then we have Tampa.
Rams don't have a pick, right? Rams don't have a pick.
Don't think so.
By the way, who picked Quay Walker? He was picked, right?
Yeah, he was picked.
CBS, one of the mock drafts I'm reading here, had him at 64. Oof. That was a big miss on somebody's end.
Green Bay Packers got him.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that guy's mock draft probably had Jermaine Johnson in the top 3 picks too. So,
Yeah, they had John Dotson, who was picked 44. Kenny picked at 43. He's gone already. Tyler Smith, 38 to the Jets. Look at Tyler Smith. It wasn't too far off, considering.
Yeah, look what's still on the board. I mean, like I said, this Devontae Wyatt still on the board, and Devin Lloyd from Michigan, he's still on the board. Johnson's still on the board. Dean's still on the board. It's crazy. Willis still on the board.
I'm saying for the Giants who need bodies and need good players, it's a damn good spot right now to trade up.
Yeah, but there were what are we? 3 more picks in the first round, and then the Giants have the fourth in the second, so it's 7, 8 picks.
Now we got 6 more picks.
6.
Pick is in. I stopped talking. Just make the pick already. After a while, it's like, all right, all the popping circumstance is done. Let's just get
Yeah,
this
no, Rob, you
down
can't
to-
get away from it. It's the whole marketing thing. It's
Yeah, guys, cut back to the commissioner, please. Thank you. I'll tell you though, I don't know if you see Jim. Have you seen the stage is ginormous.
yeah.
Maybe the biggest stage I've ever seen in my life. It's like 6 stories high, right, Frank?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Vegas.
It's Vegas.
That's what they do.
Yeah, Ravens have a good chance here to really make their defense. Huh. Especially last year, they could have stopped anybody last year.
Lindenbaum.
Oh, there goes the center.
Lindenbaum.
Yeah, Steve was hot to trot for him in Dallas, man. He's bumming out. Wow, and then Johnson drops another spot. This is crazy. Something's got to be going on with him. I don't know. Be a character issue.
If you're
Oh,
a
this is the kid that played at Iowa. Oh, that's right. He was the wrestler. He pinned Worst, the guy that's the offensive lineman for Tampa.
did he?
Yeah. I saw this the other day.
What, Linderbaum was a wrestler as
He
well?
was a heavyweight wrestler. Yeah.
No kidding. How you wrestle at a heavyweight at that level and still can play Division I football at that kind of level. That's something else. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I mean, if you're good, you're good.
I guess.
Oh, really? That's why he dropped? They said his pick dropped because he had short arms. These guys are ridiculous.
Well, for a center?
Yeah, if the guy could block, he could block. Who cares?
Yeah,
about
is that a good
long
thing?
arms?
Get the ball to the quarterback quicker. Yes, you have short arms.
Hey, Rob, that's what Anthony used to say about you. You had short arms and deep pockets, right?
How do you? That should be a good thing for you. Short arms for a center. We have a trade. Jets are on the clock.
Oh, here goes Jermaine Johnson right now. Then
Yeah, we got a trade here. Who was on the clock? Titans. Titans again trade. That's your second trade this first round, right? Titans.
wait, I thought the Jets are on the clock. Titans.
Oh,
are.
it was the Titans. I had Titans right from the screen here, and then they just they switched it to New York Jets. Come on, Shane. Come on, Joe Shane. Follow your counterpart in the parking lot. So, Jim, the St. Mary St. Joe's game has been rescheduled. I'll let you know when it's gonna happen.
Okay, that was supposed to be tomorrow, wasn't it?
Supposed to have been tomorrow. They told me don't worry about Del Barton. I guess they figured they'll get smoked. They're by far the non-public B first round first seed.
Why was the Joe's St. Mary's game canceled?
I don't know. I guess he wanted to give his transfers some time. The transfers played Monday against Woodridge. Night game, 7:00 at night. Night high school baseball.
Yeah.
I hope the field's lit.
Yep, turf field too. Even brown turf for the morning track.
Brown turf.
Brown, whatever that turf field is. No, the fake field. The
Yeah, like AstroTurf.
yeah.
Hey, Rob, I went to see a Rutgers game on Saturday. And, my nephew, Frank, is the pitching coach for Rutgers.
Oh, really?
And they're having a hell of a season. They were actually playing Iowa. What a beautiful field, though. Like, what a nice spread they got down in Rutgers. It's Bainton Field in Piscataway, which is a couple miles from the campus. What a great venue for a game. It was easy in, easy out, and just really, really good venue. It was.
How long has he been the pitching coach there?
This is his third season.
Nice.
Rutgers is actually ranked.
Yeah.
The best team in the Big Ten.
My nephew Frank was a catcher at St. John's, an all Big East catcher at St. John's.
Okay.
And he's had a couple of stops. He was at Bryant University. He was at George Washington. And he's at Rutgers now. The guy from Bryant, when he got the Rutgers job, took my nephew Brendan with him to Rutgers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really great.
That is awesome.
Still no word about the trade yet. I know I saw Jets did not have a pick this late.
Here's the pick.
Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
What you should have done, Jim. Like Jermaine Johnson, which he was picked by the Steelers.
Yeah, well, let's.
In that black and yellow. So this guy from Oregon, was he a stand-up guy or is he a down guy? We don't know yet.
What, Thibodeau?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's kind of a mix. Like, he played on the defensive end, but he was up most of the time, I think.
It looks lean.
Well, all guys on Oregon with those uniforms look very lean, to be honest.
Don't worry about lean, Rob. Jason Taylor was lean, and he was very effective.
That's another guy that's overrated, though. Jason Taylor.
Really?
Hall of Fame, Jason Taylor? Come on. You got to be kidding.
Yeah, I don't know Hall of Fame. I don't know what his career stats are.
Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame. That's an outrage. The guys like Reggie White, Bruce Smith, those are Hall of Fame defensive ends.
Now we got Jacksonville, Green Bay again in New England.
Ajabo, Michigan. There's still some talent out there.
They always say a good team makes their mark in the second and third rounds, day 2.
Yeah.
Day 3, early, you might find some guys, and then it's all about depth at that point. Wow, he dropped a.
But we've been concentrating on these draft picks, and there's still they didn't move Baker Mayfield yet, and Garoppolo didn't move, and there's still.
Bradbury.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be at least a little bit more trade. I think the biggest trade in the whole thing was AJ Brown. That was a shocker to me.
That came out of nowhere.
Well, let me just give you a little info on Jason Taylor. As of right now, Jason Taylor has the 7th most sacks career. So, I mean, he's top 10. I mean, he's right after Strahan. The next closest guy is Terrell Suggs.
How many sacks does Strahan have?
He's retired. What?
How many sacks does Strahan have career?
141 and a half.
So 140 and a half were actually real ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jason Taylor has 139 and a half. So, I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't good. I'm just saying Hall of Fame is a little questionable to me. I have very high Hall of Fame standards, as Rob can attest, as we talk about on our show all the time.
Well, I mean, all the guys above him are Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Kevin Green, Julius Peppers, Chris Dolman, and Strahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list of company to be in, and you're the next
I'm not
guy.
saying it's not a good list. I don't know. I never feared Jason Taylor in the way I feared Reggie White and Bruce Smith.
Well, because those guys were down linemen. He was more of an upright. He was like a hybrid. So he would theoretically, he was playing defensive end, but he was also playing like outside linebacker. That's how he played the game. He played it a little different than most. And that was a knock on him too. When he got drafted, they were like, you're never going to survive at this position. You're not heavy enough. But he was fast and strong, which
he
helped.
was definitely fast. I'll give him that. I don't remember him standing up as that. I thought he was always a down guy.
No, he did stand up from time to time in certain formations.
Well, when you talk about, and we talked about in the beginning of the show, I mean, Hall of Fame, it's got to be for the elite. They're letting people in now that were really good players, but the Hall of Fame is for great players. And Reggie White and Bruce Smith, to me, from a defensive end position, that's the standard. That's why it drove Steve and I crazy that guys like Dan Hampton are in the Hall of Fame. Dan Hampton? Yeah, I mean, you got to be kidding me. Because he was a member of the 85 Bears? I mean, he wasn't even the 5th best player on that team.
Yeah, actually, his teammate Richard Dent is number 10 all-time sacks.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Richard Dent was way better of a player than Dan Hampton was. And it took Richard Dent, probably another 10 years to get in before he got in.
Best 5 available: Daxton Hill, Malik Willis, Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State, Devin Lloyd, Kobe Dean. All right, so we might have a linebacker there for, all right, we still have some picks yet. That's what I'm saying. If these guys are available, come on, move up. Because, Blake Martinez is not long for our team.
Why?
I mean, injury, he's previous regime. I mean, he's staying this year, yeah.
Yeah, but he's
a good player.
Frank, look at the table. Look at the screen right now. Look at the TV.
What is that?
So there was Daxton Hill from Michigan, right? In his draft party. They have all of the team hats on the table. All of them. So they're not even sure who's. Why would you even show that?
Well, there's still three Michigan guys: Hill, Devin Lloyd, and Ajabo. You know.
Well, Ajabo may go later because he got hurt. You know how teams are with that.
Yeah.
You know, even though a guy like Jalen Waddle, he went in the first round last year and he didn't play. He was coming off an injury. It's just weird how that stuff works.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I remember. I mean, I don't remember, but I know that Joe Montana, didn't he have a knee surgery or a knee problem coming out of Notre Dame?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a knee, but
Oh, so Jacksonville. Devin Lloyd.
Well, there's one of them. Oh, yeah, there's a team that needs almost everything, pretty much.
yeah, they do. That's a mess down there too. That's a mess.
I think it's pretty cool to see a player like this from a smaller school get picked.
Who?
Well, the guys from Utah.
Oh, that's not really a smaller school.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's not a
They're-
big powerhouse.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been pretty competitive. Probably the last, I don't know, 8-9 years. I mean, they've put out some pretty good players.
And then
Guys you wouldn't even know went there.
yeah, was a quarterback that went there?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, yeah.
Here, I'll pull it up.
Now the Packers now do they get a receiver here?
I don't know, Rob. They just spent a lot of money on a couple of these receivers. I don't know. I mean, Rodgers isn't going to be there long enough to groom somebody into the Devontae Adams mold, but I think he could work with Valdez Scantling and Juju Schuster or whatever.
I'm not big on Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, and I don't think he's done a lot, but I mean, made a living in this league.
Why does Roger Goodell act as he knows all these guys personally when they come out of their picks? Bear hug, high five.
They have like a lot of meetings and stuff. Like I'm sure he's at the combine or has something to do with that. They look for like personality flaws too, so they can give these teams heads up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys, they're like jarheads. They're like out of their cookies because of their upbringing, where they're from, just how they are in general. So I mean, it's a lot more intensive than you think. You know, I mean, even when you become a rookie in the league, you got to go to like mandatory meetings on how to conduct your life, how to use your money. Guys like Chris Carter were like leading some of these classes. I've watched a lot of it, and it's surprising, but it's also understandable because you give a guy that came from meager upbringing and you all of a sudden give him all his money, he might not know what to do with it and lose his mind.
Well, that's what we talked about on our show last week. Was this whole Marcus Dupree story, Frank? When just like that, I mean, he comes from the backwoods of Mississippi, and you know his talent was undeniable. But when he finally made the money, he had some guy look after it for him and took it all. Marcus Dupree never saw a dime of that money.
Well, that's again just that's not really, that's a little different because that's somebody trusting somebody. I'm just talking about guys making bad decisions. I'm not even. That could happen to anybody. But I'm talking about a guy. Hey, Henry Ruggs, perfect example. Let's buy an expensive car and do 190 miles an hour and probably be drunk out of our head, whatever his deal was.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, I think that's what they're trying to avoid. Or guys spending their money frivolously or doing silly stuff. Listen, there's the Michael Vicks and Charles Barkley's of the world who we know or have done some messed up stuff. Charles Barkley's, from what I understand, is still a degenerate gambler.
Yep.
But he's got the money to do it. At least I think he does.
Apparently he does. Yeah.
Michael Vick, he did whatever he did with the dogs and everything. He thought it was normal or okay, and then he got caught, and then he kind of polished his life up. But I think that's what they're trying to avoid, because when that stuff happens, it's not even bad for the player. It's bad for the organization. It's bad for the NFL. It's bad publicity. And I know they say, "Oh, bad publicity. Any publicity is good," but nah, not this kind of publicity.
Yeah.
Because we're already predetermining some of these guys that are going to do it anyway. So they're just trying to avoid it. I watched a show not too long ago, and Chris Carter, and Chris Carter was a screwball when he first came into the league, especially with drugs. He had a lot of problems. And just the way he was talking to these guys and the things he was describing, and some of these guys, they're raising their hands and they're going, "Well, Chris, let me ask you." He goes, "Yeah, well, that's a great question." He goes, "But you got to avoid this situation because, there are people out there that know who you are, that'll goat you into doing things that you may not want to do, or they may call you a name or something and know they can goat you into something." Well,
listen, I guess it's no different in really any sport. This happens to guys in the NBA too, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Problem with the NBA is NFL guys, if you're just barely hanging on, you get cut, and that salary is not guaranteed.
Right.
Most NBA guys could be the 15 guy on the bench making $5 million and barely play. And
great point, Rob.
Is this Andre Whitworth?
It's Andrew Whitworth.
Andrew, whatever. It's like he lost some weight. He's retired now.
That's one hell of a player, bro.
Yeah, he was.
He's right up there with what's his face, Bruce Matthews.
Yeah, played until he's 40.
That's high praise right there, my friend.
That is high praise. Whitworth was a steady, just reliable offensive lineman that played.
Yes, he was. But putting him in a Matthews class, that is very high praise.
Well, I think he's up there. I don't know if he's as good as Bruce Matthews, because that's pretty much the standard.
When I think of that kind of prowess, and that's why I said I have such high standards, for left tackles. I think Anthony Munoz was the greatest tackle I ever saw.
You got no argument from me.
Yeah.
Love Anthony Munoz.
Oh my God. He was
actually recently, even though I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I'm kind of a Jersey guy. I just got a special Super Bowl edition Anthony Munoz jersey.
Oh, nice.
Always wanted an Anthony Munoz. Always.
Nice.
For as long as I've been playing Madden Mobile, it's like, because I play Madden, I love playing it. He's in it every year. He's always an offensive lineman I pick because he's a monster.
All right, here's the pick.
Wyatt, yeah.
Well, they're really loading up on their D.
Well, I think that's is that the fourth Georgia Bulldog defensive guy to get picked in the first round already, and Dean's not even one of them, Rob. Right? You had Walker, you had Wyatt, you had Jordan Davis, and now Devontae Wyatt. It was Georgia.
Well, they got a top linebacker now. They got a top defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking the Pittsburgh approach. Let's get a solid defense and Big Bad what's his face? Big Bad Rogers will figure it out. I mean, they got a decent running game. Their two running backs are very,
they do.
very effective.
They do.
It's Jones and is it Dillon? Is his last name?
Dylan,
AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon.
college.
Yeah, Boston College kid. Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow, I bet you know what, Rob. I couldn't, and I'm not going to look it up, but 4 defensive guys for first round pick from one school. I mean, maybe that happened to Miami or something. you
Yeah.
know.
I would probably say the Hurricanes.
Yeah, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, right? Like when Jerome Brown was on that team.
No, I don't think it was Jerome. I think it was the Ed Reed. Either the Ed Reed or Sean Taylor. Somewhere around there. Because I know a couple of those defensive backs. If I'm not mistaken, it was I have to look it up. But it was like Ed Reed, Mike Rumpf, Philip Buchanan, Sean Taylor was there somewhere, maybe before or after. But one of those years, they were just.
Yeah, 4. You're right, 4. Here we
Yeah,
go.
they had a linebacker too, Frank. That was
Yeah.
what was it? He played for the Jets, the linebacker.
Vilma. Jonathan Vilma. You're not. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, Jonathan Vilma. Yeah, he played for the Saints too.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pick us in. More commercials.
It's got to be a defensive back here, right? New England. I got to think it's defensive back here, or the linebacker from Purdue, Karlaftis.
They wanted Wyatt. I'm sorry that they had the mock draft. I'm looking at. They had Wyatt picked. That was way earlier.
Yeah, they need a defensive back, I think. And listen, had a great career, Devin McCourty, St. Joe's kid, for New England, but he's 12 years in the league now.
Yep, they had hell of a careers, those two guys.
They did. And they're as nice as they appear to be, both of those brothers.
I met them before. They know who I am.
Very nice guys.
Covered a few of their events. Their agent is a Jersey guy.
I think if they're going defensive back, it could be this guy Daxton Hill from Michigan.
That was the other guy. Here it is. I wasn't even close, but it was. Let's see. It's Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma,
Yeah.
E.J. Williams, Vince Wilfork. That was in 2004.
Vince Wilfork had a great career,
He had an awesome career. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, let me see who else here. So Kellen Winslow. So that would be 5 from one team, not all defense. Let me see if there's anyone else that played for them.
Well, that was Kellen Winslow Jr., I think.
Yes,
right?
Winslow Jr., yes, the meatball.
He's in jail now, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the best thing about being in Vegas right now. It's only 8:20 there. They're gonna finish this draft up in the next 15, 20 minutes. They're gonna go party.
Yeah, it's gonna go nuts down there.
Dinners everywhere, parties, That is
Yeah. Who's gonna be one of the prospects to, just like we talked about, Frank, like you brought up before, a lack of judgment, at an inopportune time, right?
Let me tell you from experience, those casinos in Vegas at night, you don't know if that's just a plain old good-looking hot chick or if that's a, what.
Wow.
They all look the same in Vegas.
They took the guard. I've never heard of Cole Strange. The Patriots took a guard. That makes sense.
Wow. From where? I don't even have him on my
Chattanooga. What?
If I'm not mistaken, same college as Terrell Owens. He went to Tennessee, Chattanooga. Pretty sure.
I'm not gonna spell Chattanooga.
It's CHAT Nuga.
TT Nuga.
TT Nuga. So, Jim, as we wind up, we have a few more drafts to go. Picks here. And then I guess we'll do a little draft recap for the second and third round on your show Saturday.
Great.
Like we said before, second and third round, that's the meat of your draft right there. That's where you get like.
Yeah, but the first round's big too. The first round is I would say you're getting hopefully key positions filled, and you're also reacclimating the interest of your fans by making some of these bigger picks.
Wow, they're actually going quick here. It went right, not even fast enough here.
Oh, there it is.
Already. Thank God.
Karlaftis.
Hey, Rob, I was just going to say this guy Karlaftis might be around for the fourth pick in the second round, and that he just got taken off the board.
So that was a quick pick right there. See, they're here in the crowd. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Well, it's maybe for some of these teams now, it's pretty much textbook what they need or what they want.
Yeah.
I'm saying as far as the broadcast, not going to mindless banter when it's like 11:30 at night. Going right to the pick instead of elongating it. Dragging it out.
Who's on the clock now?
Bengals, and the pick is in. I gotta spell Caparitis. Come on.
Wow.
Another guy they just said about short arms. What is with these guys? What's with the short arms?
I don't know. He's got short arms. Pickett's got small hands. I don't know what the hell's going on.
The long arm tackles gave him trouble. I've never heard of this before. What's a long arm tackle? Like,
I mean, when the guy pushes off, says, "Get off me!" He can't make that tackle.
Well, the Giants signed from recommendation from Ozi Yamanura. The Giants signed to a developmental contract a guy from Africa to be an offensive lineman. He's 6'9". That's the guy. He's going to stand there and just, dare you to run around him. The time you run around him, the play's already done.
Yeah, but can the guy move?
Well, yeah, you need to have foot movement to play in this league. There's no doubt about it.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this, but Ray Rice, they played him at defensive end in high school because he was that fast and that strong to get around offensive linemen. I know
Yeah,
somebody that played against him, and he even told me one of his teammates got his jaw broken by him.
Ray Rice.
Oh, Ray Rice played. They put him at defensive end a
yeah,
lot of times.
He played up in like
That's good,
White
right?
Plains
He
area.
played. No, he played in. Oh my God, I know the town. New
Westchester.
Rochelle. New Rochelle.
New Rochelle, yeah.
Yeah. So again, I mean, you could be a big dude, but if you can't move, you can't move. What good is it?
Yeah.
All right, so here's a little confusing to me, unless you're freezing it. So they're showing on the screen here. Next pickup, the pick's already in from Cincinnati at 31, and then the last pick is Minnesota 32. So I guess they're going to stop it there.
That would be.
Why are you showing Tampa Bay at 33? It's next round.
Well, maybe they just show it to show it.
I would not show it. I was producing.
Yeah, because the final 32nd pick would have been the Rams, but they dealt all those picks, right, to get
for Von Miller, I believe,
on Miller or Beckham or one of them.
or
yeah.
Beckham. Yeah.
Let's go with the commercials. Let's go. Well, like I said, a lot of good guys, obviously yet to be picked.
Yeah, there's still a lot of guys on the board.
There's a lot of quarterbacks.
Oh, they're all there yet.
Kenny Pickett is the only one that left.
That's right.
Willis, Ritter, what was the other one? Corral.
You got Sam Howell at North Carolina.
They even said our guy Jack Cohen will get drafted at some point tomorrow or probably early on Saturday.
Yeah, they're thinking he's probably a 5th round pick or something.
Hey, he should be a better pro than what's his name? Ian Book. Ian Book looked lost that one time he played.
Jack Cohen's a Long Island kid, I think.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to be the next
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Chase Daniel, who's made a mint, just being a backup quarterback everywhere.
Yeah, he has. I think Cohen was from like Islip or West Islip.
That's who, the quarterback for Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Well, he was at Wisconsin for 4 years, and then the last year with the COVID, he had an extra year. So
Yeah.
graduate year, we needed a quarterback. I even saw that, Jim. They're making a big deal today because apparently Peyton and Eli are on the Notre Dame campus filming a segment for something, one of their projects.
Oh God.
And everybody thought it was like Arch Manning making a visit to Notre Dame. See, we wouldn't take Arch Manning because he's probably gonna be a 1-year quarterback.
Yeah. I know. I think he's been hot to trot for some reason at Virginia. I don't know what the.
Well, something to do with his sister. One of the wives went there, I believe, of the Manning brothers, and there's some kind of connection with the school currently. And
Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this kid is supposed to be like the next best thing since sliced bread. That's where he's going? Really?
He hasn't committed, but he's visited that twice. That's kind of on the rumor mill. But he may still go to Ole Miss.
Well, I mean, with his background, I mean, geez, he'd probably go anywhere.
Oh, no question. He's the number one recruit.
A lot of pressure on him.
What do you mean?
Look all the footsteps he has to like.
He doesn't have a lot of pressure, guaranteed. You know why? Because if you look at the Manning boys, even his dad's Cooper, right?
His dad's Cooper. Yeah.
They're all pretty even-keeled, mellow dudes.
Yeah, they are.
Archie went through it. Peyton and Eli went through it. if anything, he's set up better than probably anybody ever.
Well, look at what's the who's the guy? Who's the? All right, again. Every time I'm on the air, my mind goes blank as far as names. Who was the guy, the Heisman winner, whose parents were rich?
Manziel.
Manziel, right? He did
Oh,
nothing
Manziel.
because he didn't approve. He was already rich.
Daxton Hill.
Jackson Hill,
Oh, that's the Michigan defensive back, right?
safety.
Yep.
Yeah. One more pick to go.
Hey, Rob, I was talking to my buddy and Frank, I don't know if we mentioned it. He's a starting center for Ohio State. And I played with his father,
Oh.
and his son is just a wonderful kid. It was like the first interview we had on it was Jim and Doug show before Steve took over. Great kid. And I think he's going into the draft, Rob. He mentioned to me next year. So we'll be talking about him. He's 6'4", 295, this kind of.
That's a load.
And a straight A student, just nicest kid on the planet. And I said, as soon as you're drafted on draft day, Sports with Mono and Mono is going to be your first interview. He goes, you got it.
Where did he play high school?
St. Joe's.
Oh, St. Joe's. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny to see a kid that I've known since he was, the size of a bottle of milk, and now
Right.
he's as big as a house. And what a great kid, though.
No, I got you. That's great.
Yeah.
I got my boy Cooper on the show.
Huh?
Got to get my boy Cooper on the show.
Who's your boy Cooper?
Cooper Rigo.
Oh, Cooper Rigo.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Haven't heard that name in a while.
He's on the St. Joe staff now,
Yeah, he does. I see. He does a show. He'll do like a tape review show, reviewing football tape for running backs.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I see it like once a week. Have to get Augie on the show.
Oh, no question about it. I'm trying to work on that.
I might go back to covering Rutgers this year too.
So now you and your brother have a show about football?
Everything.
Just in general, we talk about all kinds of sports.
Okay.
And Rob is our producer now,
I'm sorry?
Rob's our producer now,
Until the summer comes.
When do you do your show? Is it a set day?
Well, mostly Saturdays unless I'm busy.
Yeah, we usually do it on Saturdays, and
I think I saw next weekend. I think there's a game on Saturday. I think they have a game scheduled, but again, everything changes so quickly, and with the sports.
Yeah.
I'm hoping not to freeze my ass off for my next game. I froze almost every game so far, except for one.
I coach girls softball. I was out at practice yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cold. Like I literally had 3 shirts on and a hoodie.
No.
We had a comment for you, Jim.
Huh?
Comment.
Did you guys grade the night? The night? No.
Probably graded on Saturday. That's your guy, Mike Garvey.
Yeah. Hey, Mike stayed with us the whole show. I know that.
Yeah, Rob. Let me know when their show's on. I'd like to come on their show, if possible.
You got to be. You have to have a late Saturday. You're working.
Well, yeah, I know that. I know.
Well, I could teach the boys how to do their own show soon because summer's coming.
What does that mean? You don't work?
I'm actually in negotiations, hopefully this weekend, to do the Rucker Park version, the version of Rucker Park in Brooklyn.
Huh.
Shouldn't affect the guys too much, but every Saturday and Sunday I'll be working in the city.
All right. Well, we got to make a plan for that so we can.
Yeah.
You know, we want to. We've been doing the show, Frank, for every week since 3 years now.
There you go. There you go.
What team says Bertucci?
I think both the Giants and Jets did very good in this draft. Here's the.
The Vikings fans waited all night just to go crazy in their purple clothing.
Another Georgia player. I think they broke the record.
Lewis.
Oh, that's got to be.
Because it was 4 for Miami, and then 2 years later, I read Florida State tied it. So Georgia just broke the record. Most defensive players by one team in the first round.
What was the name of that defensive back?
Lewis Sign.
Sign.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people had the Bills. We were really high on that guy. Yeah.
Funny, didn't Georgia get smoked in the championship game?
No, they won.
Georgia won?
Yeah.
I forget. It's been a while. I forget.
Yeah, they won.
All right, makes sense because how much I love Saban.
Hey, Rob, you know what? I think this is a pretty good sign. If the Giants got 4 picks to go and the Kobe Dean is still on there, that would make my day. That would make my day.
Another high pick. Now, I'm looking at a random 2-round mock draft, right, from CBS Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, a lot of guys are gone already, but their top 4 picks in round 2. The Trey McBride, the tight end I'd want from the number 1 tight end in the draft from Colorado State, going to Jacksonville. They have round 2 on the clock. Okay. They have Detroit picking Matt Corral, the quarterback. They had the Jets picking Elam, but he's already gone.
Yeah.
Elam. And they have the Giants picking Danielle Falele, whatever, from another offensive tackle from Minnesota.
Okay.
But that's already assuming that the Kobe Dean was taken, and he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. And listen, Mike Garvey, thank you for staying with us for the whole show, and it was a pleasure. I'm going to sign off. Frank?
So are we.
Yep.
Frank, it was a pleasure to meet you and great to have you on the show, and I appreciate your insight. Very nice.
No problem. Anytime. And I look forward to possibly getting on your show.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Rob, thank you, sir.
We'll figure out tomorrow what time.
All right, good.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you
All right,
guys.
guys.
Have a good night.
Good night.